All praise to the Most High God. So tonight's topic is a continuation of last Sabbath class, the Black Queen. Okay, we understand what a queen is not Queen, but Quaen. Okay, Black Queen. So tonight's topic is called Black Queen Part 2, Single, Independent, and Alone. Single, independent, and alone. That's tonight's topic. Sisters, today is your day. All praise to the Most High God. Okay, let's open up with the book of Ecclesiasticus. Okay, this is part 2 of the series, Sirach 36, verse 25. Let's deal with the single-minded women, single-minded black queen. Okay, because being single is also a mindset. Wanting to remain single is also a mindset. When then we're gonna investigate where this mindset comes from and why these black queens want to stay single and remain single. What's the real reason behind it? We're gonna find it out this day in the spirit of Christ. Sirach 36, verse 25. Read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verses 25.
Go ahead.
Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled.
Go ahead.
And he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning.
So now it says, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. We went through a lot of classes regarding this verse right here. So I'm going to take a different route this day. Read that again, verse 25. Read again for me.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verse 25.
Go ahead.
Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled.
It says, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. Let's deal with the possession, okay? Because a possession is something of value that must be protected. You understand? It says, where there's no hedge of protection, the possession gets spoiled. Okay? Watch this. Give me the book. We need to understand the possession in this instance, it goes into what? Read the verse above it so we can understand what this is going into. Okay? Who's the possession? Watch this. Read verse 24.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verse 24.
Go ahead.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. Okay, go ahead.
A help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
A help unto himself, and a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. It says, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. Because you're not born and in poof, you're a wife. No. You are born, you are a daughter. You understand? From a daughter, guess what? Under your father's household, you are a daughter under your father's house. You understand? And as you grow, your father and your mother will be guiding you and raising you up according to what is written in this book, preparing you to become a wife. When it's time for you to become a wife, guess what the father does? The father will hand his daughter to who? To a husband. You understand? So from your father's house, you go to your husband's house. There's no point in time when you are single. There's no single in the Bible, really, if you think about it. Because according to our customs, that says the Lord, from your father's house, you go to your husband's house. Before you become a wife, you are a possession to your father. Then from your father, you become a possession to your husband, your Lord. You understand? Read verse 24 again.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verses 24.
Go ahead.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Read.
A help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
Next verse, come on.
Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled.
You see that thing? Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. Because guess what? Who's the possession? The woman is the possession. You understand? The daughter. Eventually she will become a wife. But while she's still under father's roof, she's been prepared to be a wife. You understand? To be a wife. Because she's learning from her mother. You see that thing? Watch this. Give me, because we need to understand who's responsible for making sure that the possession, which is the daughter, who's being prepared to be a wife, who's responsible for protecting this possession? That's the head, right? That's the father, first and foremost. Watch this. Give me Sirach 42, verse 9. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 9. Because you might be wondering, yes, I'm saying single, independent, and alone. I'm dealing with the single part. Why am I going here? It will be clear in a minute. Just be patient. Read what you got. Surah 42, verse 9. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 9.
Go ahead.
The father waketh for the daughter,
Come on.
when no man knoweth,
Read.
and the care for her taketh away sleep when she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she be hated.
Lest she should be hated. Read verse 9 again.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 9. The father waiteth for the daughter, when no man knoweth.
Read.
Care for her taketh away sleep when she's young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated.
So now let's deal with that, because the father is the one that's the head, first and foremost. Before this woman is married, you understand, she's under the protection of the father. She's under the hedge of her father's roof. You understand? Watch this. It says, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knows. When no man is there, you understand, that will eventually be the husband. Guess what? Nobody's there. It's just you and your wife and your daughters, if you've got daughters. You understand? It says, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knows. Now watch this. How does the father waketh for the daughter? Because to wait for the daughter means his job is to watch for the daughter, is to watch for her daughter, for his daughters. You understand? Watch this. Give me Sirach 7:24. This is how he does it. This is how he watches for the daughter. And the daughters is not just talking about, like in the context of us, it's not talking about my 3 daughters. It's talking about the sisters in the camp. Sister Phoebe, Sister Chloe, Sister Teboko. Those are daughters. You understand? Watch this. Sirach 7:24. Read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7, verse 24.
Go ahead.
Now daughters, have a care of their body.
Read.
And show not thyself cheerful toward them.
You see what the Lord is saying is that, has thou daughters have a care for their body, meaning you must take care of them. You must teach them how they must dress according to the scriptures. You understand? You must protect them where they go, who they speak to, who their friends are, who their friends are. Because you need to know, is it a friend, or are they keeping the commandments? Because that's where your friendship must be based on. If it's not, that's not a friend. Stay away. That's the demon right there. That's the job of a father. The job of a father is to do that. You understand? Read that again, verse 24.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7, verse 24.
You know what? Start at verse 23, actually.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7, verse 23. Hast thou children?
Has thou children? Has thou children? Because as a father, you've got children. You understand? Your children are born. You say that was, has thou children? Okay, come on. Do what?
Instruct them.
You must instruct them. How do you instruct your children? We're going to read a little bit later how these children get instructed. Go ahead.
And bow down their neck from the youth.
When they are still young, you must make sure that you bow down their neck. You must teach them to obey. You must teach them to submit to the commandment, the rule or the law that you set in your house based on what is written. The proof of that, give me that in Genesis 18. Okay, the proof is the example of our forefather Abraham. Read what you got. Genesis chapter 18, verse 18.
The book of Genesis, chapter 18, verses 18.
Go ahead.
Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him.
All the nations of the earth. The nations of the earth is not talking about everybody. No, he's only talking about the children of Israel. Watch this. Give me the book of Acts real quick. Okay, give me Acts chapter 3. The book of Acts. Okay, Acts chapter 3. One second. Acts chapter 3. Acts chapter 3 and verse 18. Read, you know, start verse 12. Acts chapter 3, verse 12. Watch this.
The book of Acts chapter 3, verse 12.
Read.
And when people saw it, he answered unto the people, Ye men of Israel, why marvel ye at this? Or why look ye so earnestly on us, as though by our own power or holiness, we had made this man to walk?
Because this is the Apostle Peter, or this is the Apostle Peter and John. You understand? There was a lame man that was at the gate, at the door, at the gate called Beautiful. That's where the temple was, the synagogue. You understand? And he could not walk. So they healed him in the Spirit of Christ. Now he's saying, because the people were marveled when they did that. So now the Apostle Peter is saying, why are you marveling? Because as though we did this. No, the Lord did this thing. You understand? But who is he who is he addressing? He says, ye men of Israel. So he's talking to the Israelites. So the people that was in the synagogues and all of that, that was the Israelites that were going to teach the gospel. Next verse. Watch this. Come on.
The God of Abraham.
The what?
The God of Abraham.
The God of Abraham. Go ahead.
And of Isaac. And of Jacob.
Read.
The God of our fathers.
You see that thing? You see who our fathers are? You see who the fathers of the Israelites are? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So when you hear people be saying, no, Abraham is the father of many, it's not, that's not true. Because they mean it in the context as the father of everybody on the earth. No, not everybody came out of Abraham. You understand? It says the God of our fathers. Which fathers? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And who's the our fathers? Who's the fathers? Who are they the fathers of? The fathers of the children of Israel in verse 12. You understand? That's what he's talking about. So go back to Genesis 18 now. Genesis chapter 18. Genesis 18, verse 18 again. These are the nations we are talking about. So the nations in Genesis 18, verse 18 is talking about the Israelites we read about in Acts chapter 3, verse 12. Read what you got.
The book of Genesis chapter 18, verse 18.
Read.
Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him.
The nations of the earth that will be blessed in Abraham is the 12 tribes of Israel. Go ahead.
For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. Because the Lord made a promise to our forefather Abraham, and Abraham is our forefather. He had great faith. You understand? But you see what Abraham did? He says, I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him. You see that thing? That's what a father does as a hedge. A father is a hedge who will make sure that he instructs his children after him based on what is written. You understand? Because our forefather Abraham, he was perfect before the Lord. He kept the commandments and he taught his children and his household, his wife and the servants that were under them, the laws of the Most High God. You understand? So our forefather Abraham, he had his house in order. Understand that? So let's go back to Sirach 7. Okay, Sirach 7, verse 23 again. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7, verse 23. Hast thou children? Instruct them and bow down their neck from their youth.
Because that's what our forefather Abraham did with Isaac and his wife and all the servants that were under his roof. You understand? He made sure that they obeyed. He taught them the way of the Lord that is God, the God of Israel. Go ahead.
Hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body.
You see that thing? Hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body. You must make sure that you take care of their body, their mind. You instruct them how they must think, how they make decisions based on what is written. How to spot a Negro from a mile out. That's what a job of a father is to do. You spot a Negro from a mile out. So with the sisters, with the councils that we've had, how to spot a Negro. Go ahead. Come on. And show what? And show not. Pick it up. Come on.
And show not thyself cheerful toward them.
And show not yourself cheerful towards them. Meaning what? You must not be playing with them. You must make sure that they obey what is written. They follow counsel. That's your job. That's the job of a father. You understand? So now, that's when it says where no hedge is, the position is spoiled, because a head, the job of a hedge, a leader, a father, is to do what? Is to protect the head, is to provide. You see that thing? Is to provide, to provide and to protect. and to teach and guide. That's the job of a father. That's how you make sure that the possession doesn't get spoiled. You understand that? Watch this. Give me the book of the history of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 1. The history of Susanna. Okay, it says, "Has thou daughters? Make sure that you have a care of their body." You understand? And show not yourself cheerful towards them. I'm going to show you examples of our foremothers in the past. You understand? That were not spoiled. Watch this. History of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 1. Read what you got.
The history of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 1.
Read.
There dwelt a man in Babylon called Joachim. And he took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Celsius.
Celsius, the daughter of Celsius. Go ahead.
The daughter of Celsius, a very fair woman, and one that feared the Lord.
You see that part right there? It says a very fair woman and one that feared the Lord. So not only was she bad to the bone, but she feared the Most High God. She kept the commandments. Next verse. Go ahead.
Her parents also were righteous.
You see that thing right there? That's how she feared the Lord, because her parents were righteous. They kept the commandments. They taught her the commandments. Read.
And taught their daughter according to the law of Moses.
They taught. So you see that part right there? They taught. So when it comes to teach, you have to sit down and instruct them. That's your job. He says, and they taught. That means, give me Sirach 25 and 1. Watch this. He says, they. This is husband and wife. What did they do? They taught their daughter according to the law of Moses. Watch this. Sirach 25, verse 1. Watch this.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 1.
Read.
In 3 things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful both before God and men. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors,
Read.
a man and a woman that agree together.
No. It says a man and a what?
A man and a wife that agree together.
A man and a wife that agree together. So in order for them, the husband and wife, to be able to teach their daughter Susanna the law of Moses, they had to be on one accord. You see that's how this man built a hedge in his house. He made sure that the wife was in accord, was in 100% behind him. They were in full agreement. The wife's mind was after the husband's mind. They were on one accord. You understand? It is a man and a wife that agree together. So because they agreed together, they spoke the same thing, they believed the same thing, they were able to teach their daughters the laws of the law of Moses. For her to fear the Lord, because they spoke the same thing. Now go back to where was that? The history of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 3. Read that again, verse 3.
The history of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 3. Her parents also were righteous.
Read.
And taught their daughter according to the law of Moses.
Come on. And did what?
And taught their daughter according to the law of Moses.
We're going to come back to that in just a second. They taught. Watch this. Give me the book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 28. Judith, chapter 8. Here's another foremother. Okay. This is an example. It says, Has thou daughters have a care of their body, and show not yourself cheerful towards them. So guess what? Susanna's parents, they were not cheerful towards her. They taught her. They made sure that she's taught and she understands what she's taught and she's applying what she's being taught. Read what you got. Judith, chapter 8, verse 28. Watch this.
The book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 28.
Go ahead.
Then said Ozias to her, all that thou hast spoken with a good heart.
Read.
And there is none that may gainsay thy words.
Come on.
For this is not the first day wherein thy wisdom is manifested.
Read.
But from the beginning of thy days, all the people have known thy understanding, because the disposition of thy heart is good.
Because the disposition, meaning the character of her mind, is good, meaning according to the commandment. But the key you want to notice here is, for this is not the first day wherein thy wisdom is manifested. Meaning Judith, she had a reputation. She had a reputation of being a righteous sister. She had that reputation among the men, the governors, the leaders of Israel. Let me put it that way, in case there's a feminist hiding up in here, or a simp hiding up in here. Read that again, verse 29.
The book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 29. For this is not the first day wherein thy wisdom is manifested. But from the beginning of thy days, all the people have known thy understanding, because the disposition of thine heart is good.
Because the disposition of thine heart is good. It says, it's not the first day wherein thy wisdom is manifested. She had a good reputation, she had a good name. It says, but from the beginning of thy days, all the people have known thy understanding. From the beginning of her day, meaning from the time she left her parents' house. From the time she was in her parents' household, you understand, under the protection of the father and the mother. Guess what? From the time to the time when she's married now to her husband, she was known to her to be a righteous sister, because her parents taught her the law of Moses also. Watch this. Give me Judith chapter 8 verse 1. Watch this.
The book of Judith chapter 8 verse 1. Now at that time, Judith heard thereof, which was the daughter of Merari.
So Judith was the daughter of Merari. Watch this.
The son of Ox, the son of Joseph, the son of Oziel, the son of Elsia.
Elsia, go ahead.
The son of Elsia, the son of Ananias, the son of Gideon, the son of Raphaim, the son of Actito, the son of Eliu, the son of Eliah, the son of Nathaniel, the son of the son of Nathaniel, the son of Samai, the son of Salasatai, the son of Israel.
So now they're giving you the fathers that came from her father. The fathers that her father comes from. Let me put it that way. So now they are listing the lineage, you understand, of our foremother Judith. You understand? Judith, her parents also, Merari, taught his daughter the law of Moses together with his wife. Now read verse 2 now. Watch this.
And Manasseh was a husband of a tribe and kindred who died in the barley harvest.
So what you want to notice is that, you see, you understand, the reason why from the beginning of her days, meaning from her youth, meaning from her father's house, she was taught the laws of Moses, just like our foremother Susanna was taught. That's how you make sure that the possession is spoiled, is not spoiled. Because our forefathers had a system that the Most High God implemented, which is the Bible. How to make sure that the possession is not spoiled, which is your daughter. Particularly, I'm not saying the sons are not supposed to be taught. That goes without saying. But I'm dealing with the daughters now. You understand? Because today they become black queens. They are not righteous sisters no more. They are queens now. So we have to rebuke that and correct it so we can reset it back to how it was as we're reading that says the Lord. You understand? Read verse 2 again.
The book of Judith, chapter 1, the book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 2. And Manasseh was a husband of a tribe and kindred who died in the barley harvest.
So now from the father's house, she was what? She went to her husband's house. You see that thing? There was no point there's no a point in any time where in her life she was single in terms of what? She was single. Meaning she had no hedge over her. Because she was under her father's roof, Merari. From there she went to her husband's house, Manasseh. From there she was under who? She was under the governors of Israel. Ozias was one of them. You see that thing? That's why when she's talking, Judith 8:28, read verse 28 again.
The book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 28.
Read.
Then said Ozias to her, all that thou hast spoken with a good heart, and there is none that may gainsay in thy words.
So now she was under the governors of Israel. Ozias is one of them. See, there was no point where Judith was without a hedge. You see that thing? Because guess what? That's what we're reading. These are examples what wrong. Because guess what the parents did? The parents taught the law of Moses, just like Susanna's parents did. Watch this. Go back to Susanna now. History of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 3 again.
History of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Her parents also were righteous.
Read.
And taught their daughter according to the law of Moses.
They taught their daughter Susanna according to the law of Moses. They taught. Watch this. Give me the book. Give me the book of Deuteronomy 6, verse 7. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 6. You know what? Give me Deuteronomy 31 first. Deuteronomy chapter 31. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 12. Let's start there.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 12.
Read.
Gather people together, men and women, and children.
And what?
And thy children. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 12. Gather the people together, men and women, and children.
And what?
And children.
And children. It says, gather the people together, men and women and children. So when you read this verse, you need to see nation building here. You see that thing? Men, women, and children, because men and women is part of the family structure. That's the foundation of the house. You understand? Obviously, the foundation of the house is Christ, but on top of that is the husband and guess what? The wife. You see that thing? So now what we're seeing is that the Lord is telling Moses, listen, gather the people together, men, women, and children. This is nation building right here. Understand that? Read.
And thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Read.
That they may hear, and that they may learn, and that they may fear the Lord your God, and observe to do all the words of this law.
You see that thing? And observe to do all the words of this law. So the reason why he's gathering the people together is so that they may hear the words of the law. They may be taught God's commandments. Next verse. Watch this.
And at their children, and that their children, which have not known anything, may hear and learn.
You see that thing?
The Lord.
It says, and that their children which have not known anything. Because the assumption is children don't know nothing. You see that thing? They don't know nothing. Children don't know anything. That's why from a newborn baby, you have to bathe them, you have to wash them, you have to put lotion on, you must feed them, you rock them to sleep, so on and so forth. That's how you see that thing? So guess what? When you come into this truth, that's exactly how you must be in your mind. But some of you don't want to do that because you think you're grown. That's why simple things will just be confounding, brother. Okay? Read that thing again, verse 13.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 13.
Go ahead.
And that their children, which have not known anything,
read,
may hear and learn to fear the Lord your God.
Read.
As long as you live in the land whither you go over Jordan to possess it.
You see that thing right there? That the children which have not known anything, they don't know nothing. Meaning what? They don't know right from wrong. So the job of a father is to make sure that they know right from wrong. And the woman, the wife is supposed to implement them things that the husband is implementing to what? To make sure the house runs smooth. That's the point. That's why it says gather men, women, and children. You see that thing? To make sure that these children that don't know right from wrong, they must be taught God's commandments so they know right from wrong. You see that thing? Deuteronomy 6 verse 7. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 7.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
Now stop right there. Thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. Meaning over and over you must repeat. Over to make sure that, listen, you must beat the laws of God into their spirit. You have to. You understand? You must beat it, you must beat the laws of God into them. They must breathe and think. Even their conversation must be about what is written in this book. That's the point. You understand? That's why it says you must teach them diligently unto thy children. That's what Susanna's parents did. That's what Judith's parents did, because they were following the guidelines that were set before them. You see that thing? That's how you make sure that their possession is not spoiled. You make sure that their possession is the mindset, the mind is not corrupt. Unlike our sisters today, where their mindset is corrupt. You understand? And when the scriptures come out, they twitch like iRobot. You see that thing? Read that thing again. Deuteronomy 6, verse 7, and finish it up.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 7.
Read.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
Go ahead.
And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
Read.
And when thou walkest by the way.
Mm-hmm.
When thou liest down. And when thou risest up.
You see that thing? You must teach them diligently unto thy children. Now he's going to tell you how you must do it. It says, you shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house. When you are in the house, you must talk about the commandments. And when thou walkest by the way, when you're walking with them, it must be about the scripts. And when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Meaning what? 24/7, it must be the commandments of the Most High. That's what the Lord is saying. Because 24/7 is pushing garbage out in the world. So guess what? The Lord is saying, you must do the same. 24/7, it must be the laws of the Most High God. The conversation must be as it becomes the gospel of Christ. That's what he said right there. You understand? That's how you make sure that the position is not spoiled. You see that thing? Watch this. Give me the book of Ecclesiastes 28, verse 24. Surah 28, verse 24. Remember, it says, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. The job of a father is to make sure that their possession is not spoiled. And this is how you do it as it is written. I don't have to think about nothing. I don't have to come up with my own way. It's written already. You just have to follow the guidelines. Read that. Surah 28, verse 24. Read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 28, verse 24.
Read.
Look that thou hedge thy possession about with thorns, and bind up thy silver and gold.
You see what he's saying? This is a commandment right there. It says, look that thou hedge thy possession about with thorns. It says, make sure that you hedge your possession with thorns. Because guess what? The thorns around your position is acting as a defense. Those thorns is what? Is the laws of the Most High God to defend against any evil that will come. You see that thing? So you must make sure that you hedge your possession about with thorns and bind up thy silver and gold, because those are possessions. You see that thing? You must protect your possession. This is how you do it. You teach them diligently the laws of the Most High God. When they sleep, when they wake up, when they walk by the way, when they're sitting down, it must be about the commandments of the Most High. That's what it says right there. That's how you make sure the possession is not spoiled. You understand? So watch this. Go back to Ecclesiasticus now. Sirach 26, same book. Sirach 7 now. Sirach chapter 7, verse 25. Watch this. Remember now, we are making sure that the possession is not spoiled in the house before they are given in marriage. You see that thing? So by the time they are given in marriage, they are not going to embarrass us out there. They are going to follow the commandment, the instruction, and the teaching that they were taught in the house. Watch this. Sirach 7, verse 25. Read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7, verse 25. Marry thy daughter.
You see that thing? Now, after you've taught your child, it is now you can marry your daughter. You see that thing? Because that's how you watch. That's how you watch for your daughter. You understand? Hold this. We coming back to Sirach 42. Let's go back then. Then we're gonna come back to Sirach 7. Sirach 42, verse 9 again.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 9.
Read.
The father waketh for the daughter, when no man knoweth.
Read.
And the care for her taketh away sleep.
You see that
when
thing? It says they care for her. They care for her, taketh away sleep. Because you don't sleep as a father, you're always wondering. You're always thinking about stuff. the evil that you know niggas do. Okay? So you be thinking about it. It says, and they care for her, take it away sleep when she's young, when she's still under your roof. They care for her, take it away sleep. That's why it says, has thou daughters, have a care of their body, and show not yourself cheerful towards them. That's what it's saying. That's the same thing it's saying. You understand? Read that part again. When she's what?
When she is young.
Read.
Lest she pass away the flower of her age. Being married, lest she should be hated.
We're going to deal with that a little bit later on. But it says, they care for her, take it away sleep when she's young. Now watch this. Give me the book of Sirach 7:25 now. Remember now, when she's young, she's still under your roof. Your job is to make sure that you instruct her and not show yourself cheerful towards her. Meaning, don't play with her when it comes to the commandments of the Most High. Don't be doing that. Make sure that you instill God's laws in her spirit. Okay? Watch this. Give me Sirach 7:25.
The book of Ecclesiasticus 7:25.
Read.
Marry thy daughter.
He says, now marry your daughter. Because that's the job of a father. Marry thy daughter. Go ahead.
And so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter.
Because marrying your daughter is not a small job. It's not a small matter. It's a weighty matter. There's a lot of things to consider. There's a lot of things to investigate. There's a lot of proving that must go on. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of investigation that a father needs to do. Because if you're going to be marrying my daughter, you understand? Or any of the sisters in the camp, because your daughters too. Guess what? I need to see the Negro. The Negro needs to be around me. I need to know this. You understand? I need to know what type of spirit is rolling in. And I can see a simp from a mile out. Okay? Well, that's a simp right there. Stay away from that Negro right there. He's not ready. Okay? Stay away from that Negro. He's a black ashy demon. He's not ready yet. You understand? But guess what? Some sisters, they're not going to listen because they are driven by big shoes and pink toenails. The hell is this? Read that again.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7:25.
Read.
Marry thy daughter. And so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter.
And so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. This is a heavy situation here. Go ahead.
But give her to a man of understanding.
But give it to a man of understanding. In order for the father to know that this is a man of understanding, what the father got to do? Watch this. Give me the book of Sirach 6:7. Their father will do his due diligence, by the way. Their father will do his due diligence. By the way, this is part of what? This is part of making sure that the possession is not spoiled. Even after the marriage has taken place. Because you need to make sure that you prove the Negro. Read what you got. Sirach 6:7.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6:7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
Read.
Be not hasty to credit him.
You see what the Lord is saying? If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first. Make sure that you prove this Negro. Okay? And be not hasty to credit him. Don't be quick to give him credit. You must investigate the Negro. And as fathers, that's exactly what we're gonna give you tools, that says the Lord, how to investigate a wicked Negro, to find out what type of Negro he is. Is he a Negro or is he an Israelite of the tribe of X and Y? You have to investigate that. He knows that he's an Israelite and he knows what is required of him. You see that thing? That's how you make sure the possession is not spoiled. Okay, next verse. Go ahead.
For some man is a friend for his own occasion.
Because all he cares about is just to get his rocks off. That's all he cares about. And he will make sure that what? He catches you in his neck. You see that part right there? It says, for some man is a friend for his own occasion. He don't care. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
He says he's not going to abide in the day of thy trouble. When trouble comes, he's going to skip town. What is the trouble making reference to? Let's say you have sex with him, then you fall pregnant. He disappears. That's the trouble he's talking about. You see that thing? He has sex with you, you fall pregnant, he tells you, go and have an abortion. That's the trouble. That's the point right there. Okay, watch this. Give me the book of Tobit. Okay, give me Tobit 5 verse 13. Tobit chapter 5 verse 13. This is how you make sure that the position is not spoiled. The father's job is to do that thing. I hope you sisters are listening this day. Read what you got. Tobit 5 verse 13. Come on.
The book of Tobit, chapter 5, verse 13.
Read.
Then Tobit said, Thou art welcome, brother. Be not now angry with me, because I have inquired to know thy tribe and thy family.
You see what Tobit is saying? Is a
thou
art Hold on, wait. You see what Tobit is doing an investigation, because he's asking this man, which tribe are you from? You understand? He's trying to figure out. Start at verse 10. Watch this. Let's read verse 10 and we're going to read down. Because Tobit is doing some investigations about this man that is going to be traveling with his son. Read what you got. Watch this.
The book of Tobit, chapter 5, verse 10. Then Tobit said unto him, Brother, show me of what tribe and family thou art.
Now, hold on. You know what? Jump up to verse 8. Read verse 8.
The book of Tobit, chapter 5, verse 8.
Read.
Then he said unto him, Go and tarry not. So he went in and said to his father, Behold, I have found one which will go with me. Then he said, Call him unto me.
You see what Tobit is saying? Now Tobit is telling his son Tobias that, okay, you found somebody that is going to accompany you, no problem. Bring him here. I want to see him. Bring him here. Go ahead. It's like the sister is saying, no, I've seen a brother, I like him. I've seen a brother in the camp, I like the brother. Okay. Which brother? That brother right there. That brother right there? Yes, that brother. Okay. So guess what? We might not necessarily say, yeah, we're gonna tell you, we're not gonna divulge information, but we'll say, no, the brother is not ready yet. You see that? The brother is not ready yet. But if the brother is got good report, he's got a good name, you understand? He's made a good name for himself in Israel. He does not cause trouble and all of that stuff. When he's got issues, he deals with them based on the counsel he receives. Guess what? We talk to the brother. Okay? But the point is, Tobit, that's what he's doing. He's telling Tobias, listen, bring him here. What is Tobit going to do? He's going to prove his faith. Go ahead.
Then he said unto him, Call him unto me, that I may know of what tribe he is,
Read.
Whether he be a trusty man to go with thee.
You see what he's saying? Yeah, I want to find out which tribe he's from and whether he's trustworthy to go with you. Okay, go ahead.
So he called him, and he came in, and they saluted one another.
Read.
Then Tobit said unto him, Brother, show me of what tribe and family thou art.
You see that thing? It says, show me what tribe and family thou art. Meaning what? I want to know which tribe you come from and what type of family you come from. What type of upbringing do you have? You understand? Are you coming from a line of crazy people in your household? So those are the type of things we need to know. Go ahead.
To whom he said, Dost thou seek for tribe or family, or an hired man to go with thy son?
You see that thing? He's been defensive. The point is, because you see the question is asking back, he's asking questions with questions. He's supposed to be providing answers, but guess what? Instead of responding, he's asking a question with a question. That's a red flag right there. He's been defensive. Yeah, you see that thing? Go ahead.
Then Tobit said unto him, I would know, brother, thy kindred and name.
You see, Tobit is still going, listen, I still want to know your kindred and your name. I still want to know you. Go ahead.
Then he said, I am Azarias, the son of Ananias the great, and of thy brethren.
And of thy brethren. Go ahead, watch this.
Then Tobit said, Thou art welcome, brother. Be not now angry with me because I have been quiet.
Hold on. Wait. What did Toby say? Be not what?
Be not now angry with me.
He says, be not now angry with me. Why is he saying that? Because verse 11 tells you that. He says, to whom he said, dost thou seek for a tribe or family or an hired man to go with thy son? Because guess what? He was not answering the question in a calm manner. He was answering the question being angry and upset. That's why Toby is saying, be not now angry with me. You see that? Read.
Be not now angry with me, because I have inquired to know thy tribe and thy family.
You see that thing? Don't be upset because I want to investigate. I'm inquiring of your tribe and the family you come from. Are you from a good stock or no? It's very important to know that. Okay, go ahead.
For thou art my brother, of an honest and good stock. For I know Ananias.
You see that thing? He says, hold on. He says, because I know. The reason why he's saying you come from a, he says what? He says, for thou art my brother, of an honest and good stock. He comes from an honest family. They keep the commandment. You understand? They are morally, they have a good moral standing. You see that thing? As according to the law. It says what? And a good stock. For I know Ananias is because I know Ananias. You see what I'm saying? He says, oh, I know Ananias. He's a good man. You see that thing? You're coming from a good stock. Go ahead.
For I know Ananias and Jonathan, sons of the great Samias, as we went together to Jerusalem to worship, and offered the firstborn and the tenth of the fruit, and they were not seduced with the error of our brethren. My brother, thou art of a good stock.
You see that thing? He says, not only do I know Ananias, Jonathan, sons of the great Samias, but guess what? We traveled together to Jerusalem. You see that thing? So he had time to know these men because they will go to Jerusalem for the feast and all of that. They will dwell there. They will conversate. So he would see whether it's about the business of the Most High God or not. So he knows that. So he's doing his due diligence to make sure that their possession is not spoiled. You see that? Watch this. Give me Tobit chapter 7, verse 7.
The book of Tobit, chapter 7, verse 7. And blessed him, and said unto him, thou art the son of an honest and good man. But when he had heard that Tobit was blind, he was sorrowful and wept.
You see that thing? So now what I want to show you here is that this is Reguel now. Now they are with Reguel. This is Tobias' father-in-law. So what's happening here, Reguel is telling Tobias, listen, it says, and blessed him and said unto him, thou art the son of an honest and good man, meaning Tobit. Meaning Tobit had a good name. You understand? Tobit had a good name. He did not have an ill name. Like some of the brothers and sisters up in here. They've got an ill name. Now he's saying, he says he had a good name upon him. That's why he was known of his good deeds and of his reputation and of his good mindset. You understand? Now, watch this. Give me Sirach 37 verse 12. Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 verse 12. I'm going somewhere with this. So just pay attention, take note. Okay? Commit these things to memory. Sirach 37 verse 12. Watch this.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 37, verse 12.
Go ahead.
But be continually with the godly man.
You see that thing? Be continually, not sometimes. No, continually, all the time. So that means you surround yourself with those that are about the Father's business, and you understand the scriptures the same way, and you believe the same thing. You see that thing? Read.
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind.
Read.
And will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
Meaning what? You fall into trouble. When the trouble comes, they are not going to disappear on you. Like we read in Sirach 6 verse 8. It says, some man is a friend for his own occasion. You understand? But it says, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord. How are you going to know whether they keep the commandments of the Most High God or not? You have to be around them. They have to be around you. So that you can know whether they keep the commandments of the Most High God or not. What is their thinking like? their thought process. You understand? What's in their mind? You must know those things. That's what he's saying. That's how you make sure that the possession is not spoiled. Now watch this. Now go back to Sirach 7, verse 25 again.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7, verse 25.
Go ahead.
Marry thy daughter.
Do what?
Marry thy daughter.
Marry thy daughter from your house, because she's your possession. Now she needs to go to the husband's house. Before that happens, you have made sure that you taught her the law of Moses from her youth. Like we read in History of Susanna, like we read in the book of Judith, our foremothers. You understand? Now it says, marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou what?
Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter.
And so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, because the weightiness of the matter involves what? Involves the proving process. You have to prove the Negro to make sure that his mind is right. That's why it says a weighty matter, because the proving process takes time. You have to be patient to see if the demons are not going to jump out. And if they do, how do they handle them? Go ahead.
But give her to a man of understanding.
So in order for the father to know whether this is a man of understanding, they have to be around. You have to be around. I have to see you. I have to know you. You understand? I have to see where your mind is at. I know some brothers, they are reluctant to have counsel because they don't want to be found out what type of spirit they are rolling in. I see you. Don't think I don't see you. I see you. Understand that? Okay, watch this. Give me Tobit 7 verse 13 now. Tobit chapter 7 verse 13.
The book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 7 verse 13.
Go ahead.
Use not to make any manner of lie.
No, Tobit. Is it Tobit? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Tobit 7. Yeah, Tobit. Tobit 7 verse 13, not Sirach. Tobit chapter 7 verse 13. Remember, it says, marry thy daughter, so thou shalt have performed a weighty matter, but give her unto a man of understanding, the one that understands law, judgment, and justice, and equity. They need to understand those things. Read what you got. Tobit 7 verse 13.
The book of Tobit, chapter 7 verse 13.
Go ahead.
Then he called his daughter Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father.
Mm-hmm.
And he took her by the hand and gave her to be wife to Tobias, saying, behold, take her after the law of Moses and lead her away to thy father. And he blessed him.
So now you see the process? It says, take her after the law. It says she came to her father. You see that? And he took her by the hand and gave her to be wife to Tobias. That's what a good father does. A good father will never give their daughter to a boyfriend. Never. That's a terrible father. A good father will never give their daughter to a boyfriend. A good for nothing black ashy demon. Like we see today, and it's a normal thing now. You understand? Is that she came to her father and he took her by the hand and gave her to be wife to Tobias, meaning what? Listen, I've been taking care of my daughter from her youth where no man knoweth, like we read in Surah 42, when she was young. I've been doing that up to this point. Your job now is to take her from where I left her, and you must continue this. You see that thing? You must continue where I left off. You must protect, you must provide, you must teach and guide and counsel. That's your job. Raiment, roof over her head, all of that. That's your job. You must do that as I was doing. That's the point right there. So for that day to happen, there's a lot of things that must have happened in between to make sure that this is a man of understanding. The father that's the job of a father to inquire that thing. And that takes time. It's not a 1 year thing. It's not a 2 year thing. I have to see you. I have to see the growth in the spirit. I need to see when trouble comes, how do you handle that? Can you keep a job? You see that thing? Are you full of excuses, just full of BS? Is that the case? Because if that's the case, you're not ready to be married. You're not ready to take a wife yet. You see that thing? Watch this. Go back to Sirach 42, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42. Okay, Sirach 42. Watch this. Sirach 42, verse 9. Go back there.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 9. The beauty of heaven.
No. Sirach 42, verse 9. Come on.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter. No man knoweth.
Read.
And the care for her taketh away sleep when she is young.
Read.
Lest she pass away the flower of her age, and be married, lest she should be hated.
So now what you want to, the job of a father is also to make sure that his daughter does not pass the flower of her age. Meaning what? She does not reach menopause before she what? She's married. She must not go beyond that. You see that thing? The flower of the age. Let's deal with it. Give me the book of Leviticus 15. Okay? Give me Leviticus chapter 15 and verse 24. Watch this. It says, lest she pass the flower of her age. Leviticus 15, verse 24.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 15, verse 24. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him.
And her what?
And her flowers be upon him.
And her flowers be upon that man. Go ahead.
He shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereupon he lieth shall be unclean.
So now this is when the woman is on a menstrual cycle. You understand? That's why it says, and her flowers be upon him. Jump up to verse 19. Jump up to verse 19. This is when a woman is on a menstrual period. Okay? Read verse 19. Watch this.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 15, verse 19. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until the even.
You see that thing? She's unclean 7 days. So for 7 days, she cannot be dealing with no man. You understand? Because she's unclean. Until the 7 days are done, she cannot be dealing with no man. Now, verse 24 is continuing the thought, because it says, now he's explaining the issue, which is the issue of blood. Verse 24 is calling it what? Her flowers be upon him. That's why it says, when she passes the flower of her age, meaning she's no longer going through that. She's no longer having menstrual cycles no more, because she's reached menopause now. So the job of a father is to make sure that she does not reach menopause and before she's married. The job of a father is to make sure that she does not go past menopause without being married. So it's to make sure that when she gets to a specific age, now you must what? You must marry your daughter off to a man of understanding. You understand? That's what is going into here. Watch this. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 34. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 34. Watch this.
First book of Corinthians chapter 7, verse 34.
Go ahead.
There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord.
Read.
She may be holy both in body and in spirit.
You see that thing? It says the unmarried woman, that there's difference between a wife and a virgin. A wife is married, right? That's why she's called a wife. She's married or she's promised. Okay, that's another way of looking at it. Okay, because that also means that is that a virgin, a young woman of marriageable age, it also goes into what she has not dealt with a man before. Give me that in Genesis 24, real quick. Genesis 24, verse 16, just to prove what I'm saying. Genesis 24, verse 16. Watch this.
The book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 15.
1:6.
The book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 16. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin. neither had any man known her.
You see that part? It says the virgin was very fair to look upon. Let's talk about our foremother Rebecca. It says a virgin, neither had any man known her. She was a virgin, meaning she was a young woman of marriageable age. Not only that, it says neither had any man known her. She had not dealt with a man before. Now let's go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 34. Again.
First book of Corinthians chapter 7, verse 24.
Verse 34.
First book Corinthians chapter 27, verse 34.
No, 7. 7 verse 34. Come on, stay focused.
First book Corinthians chapter 7, verse 34. There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord.
Because right now, watch this. As long as while she's still under her father's roof, she cares for the things of the Lord and to obey her father's roof. You see that thing? And her mother's, by the way. Her parents' rules of the house, which is according to the laws of the Most High God. How she must conduct herself based on what is written, based on the commandment that the Father has given. You understand? So it says she's gonna care for the things of the Lord. Because she has no husband. You understand? Read.
That she may be holy, both in body and in spirit.
You see that thing? That she may be holy, both in what? Both in spirit, both in body and in spirit. Because no man is dealing with her. Guess what? She's what? She's clean at that point, and also in spirit. You understand? Go ahead.
But she that is married careth for the things of the world.
But she that is what?
But she that is married careth for the things of the world.
Read.
How she may please her husband.
You see that thing? But it says, but the married woman, she cares for the things of the world. He's going to be specific. How she may please her husband. Because the things of the world is talk about what? The things that she has to do for her husband in the house. How to guide the house, teach the kids, and so on and so forth. You understand? It goes into that. Now read verse 36.
First book Corinthians chapter 8, verse 36. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not that they marry.
So now he's saying, now the woman has passed the flower of the age. Now she's reached menopause. He says they can get married. So if it so happens that the man does not want to deal with this woman, she's past menopause and all of that. He says, you know what, I want to deal with the things of the Lord, but I'm marrying you either way. Because it was a shame for a woman to go past menopause and she's not married. 1, 2, she does not have no children. It was a shame. Today is a normal thing. But what he's saying here is that it says, if she passed the flower of her age and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not, let them marry. So they can get married. If he's not dealing with the woman sexually and all of that, he says it's not a sin. You understand? Because usually when men and women get married, guess what happens? Sex happens. Guess what happens with the sex? What comes with the sex? Children come with sex. You see that? So now, I just wanted to explain to make sure that it's plain to understand what it means when it says she passed the flower of her age. Now, watch this. Let's go back to Sirach 42, verse 9 again. Sirach 42, verse 9.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 9.
Go ahead.
The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep.
Read.
When she's young, let she pass away the flower of her age. And being married, lest she should be hated.
Meaning what? Because once she's married and she's past the flower of her age, you understand? It's difficult for her to get children. It doesn't mean she will not get them, but it's going to be difficult for her to get children. That's the point. That's why it says, lest she should be hated. She will be a reproach. Because look what happened to our poor mother Hannah in the book of Samuel. She could not conceive, and Penina was constantly what? Was constantly mocking the sister because she could not have children. You see that thing? Because it was a reproach back then. You read the book of Luke, our foremother Elizabeth was the same way. She said, they said, let that be a reproach. Let's read that actually. Let's read that in the book of Luke. Okay, because now I'm just saying it. Let's read that. Luke chapter 1. Give me Luke chapter 1 and verse. Luke 1 verse 24.
The book of Luke chapter 1 verse 24.
Go ahead.
And after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived and hid herself 5 months, saying,
Read.
Thus hath the Lord dealt with me in the days wherein he looked on me, to take away my reproach among men.
You see that thing? To take away my reproach among men. Why? Because in verse 24, she conceived in verse 24. In verse 25, it took away her reproach among men because she could not conceive. She was barren, she couldn't conceive. That's the hatred that he's talking about, that we read about in Surah 42. You see that thing? Now, watch this. Go back to Surah 42 now, verse 9 again.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth.
Read.
And the care for her taketh away sleep when she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated.
Now watch this. The father's job is to make sure that none of these things happen. You understand? Go back to Surah 36 now, verse 24 again, 25 again. Surah 36, verse 25. Now I want to show you something, okay? I've went through all these scriptures to show you how the father's job is to make, how the father makes sure that the possession doesn't get spoiled. You see that thing? Watch this. Surah 36, Surah chapter 36 and verse 25.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verse 25. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled.
Read.
And he that had no wife will wander up and down mourning.
So now I want to show you something. You see that part when it says where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. I showed you how you make sure that the possession does not get spoiled. Then it says, and he that has no wife will wander up and down mourning. Now, guess what? He that had no husband, what do you think will happen to them? He that has no husband, they will also wander up and down mourning. You see that thing? So now I want to show you, because you have sisters, black women, the queens, they call themselves, you understand? That says, me, I want to be single, I don't want to be married, you understand? I'm not ready to be married, but they are busy having boyfriends upon boyfriends upon boyfriends. You understand? Because guess what? They are wandering up and down mourning, but they disguise it as, no, I like the freedom that I have. Yeah, freedom to be what? A freedom to what? To whore yourself out. For your coochie to be abused by multiple men. Now when your coochie is tired, you say, now I want to settle down. I want to get married now. Are you kidding? Yeah, but that's what they do. Now, watch this. Give me Leviticus 19 verse 29 now. Now we're going to deal with it, because I want to show you the dangers of the single black women, the single independent and alone black women. I want to show you the dangers of their mindset, because their mindset is not about nation building. Their mindset is not about waking up the nation. Their mindset is about the destruction of the black family, and I'm going to show you that. Watch this. Leviticus 19 verse 29. Leviticus chapter 19 verse 29, and I'm gonna start playing a couple of videos now. Leviticus 19 verse 29. Watch this.
The book of Leviticus chapter 19 verses 29.
Read.
Do not prostitute thy daughter.
Come on.
Cause her to be a whore.
Read.
Lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness.
You see what the Lord is, you see what the Bible is saying? This is a commandment. It says, do not prostitute your daughters, to cause your daughter to be a whore. You see that thing? It says, let the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness. So what is the Lord teaching us here? He's teaching us that, listen, you see these mothers, these women, these black women who don't want to get married, they be changing men every month. Every now and again, there's a new man in her life. While the children are right here watching this whole thing. You see that thing? So what and most of them, they've got daughters. And those that have sons, they just continue the same vicious cycle because the son will marry the type of woman their mother is. The daughters, they will what? They will live the type of lifestyle that their mother is living. They'll be jumping from rock to rock, abusing themselves. You see that thing? Now, it says, do not prostitute thy daughters to cause them to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom. So the Lord is teaching us that the reason why there's whoredom in the land is because of the women. Yes. Because the single independent black women, they say, no, me, I don't want to get married. I like having boyfriends, but I don't want to get married. So they're the ones that are making sure that there's whoredom in the land, in the nation. They are the ones that are pushing whoredom in the nation. Watch this. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17 now. Deuteronomy 23, verse 17. This is the law. And I'm going to show you those women that say, me, I don't want to get married. Because according in the scriptures, if you're not married, you're not supposed to be having sex. You see that? Give me Hebrews 13, verse 4. Let's read that. Okay, Hebrews 13, verse 4. You are not married, you have no business having sex. But not the black woman. She'll say, me, I like being single. Okay, sister, you are single, no problem. The Bible says you're not supposed to be what? You're not supposed to be dealing with no man at all. The sister be saying, no, but but I have need. No, sister, if you have need, get married. They don't want that because marriage means somebody's going to tell you what to do. They don't want that. That's the problem. Read that. Hebrews 13, verse 4.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 4.
Go ahead.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
Go ahead.
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
You see what the Lord is saying about marriage? It says marriage is honorable in all. Everything about marriage is honorable. You understand? And the bed is undefiled. Meaning you deal with your wife and your husband however you see fit. You understand? But it says, but whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge. Because a whoremonger is dealing with what? Give me that instruction in 3 verse 17. This is what a whoremonger deals with. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge. Surah 23 verse 17. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 23, verse 17.
Read.
All bread is sweet to a whoremonger.
Go ahead.
He will not leave off till he die.
You see that thing? All bread is sweet. The bread is sweet is a metaphor for making reference to women. It says all bread, all type of women is sweet to a whoremonger man. Meaning a man that sleeps with every woman that he sees. You see that thing? So now the bread that he's going after that is sweet to him is all the women that says, me, I don't want to get married. I want to be single because what? They like it when they deal with a new rod every month. Because we hear the conversation of the sisters out there in the world. You understand? Now, watch this. Give me Deuteronomy 23 verse 17 now. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17.
23 verse 17. Come on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 17.
Read.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
Read.
Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
So now watch this. It says there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. That's a commandment. That's a law. No prostitutes in the nation of Israel. Meaning what? No, there must not be any woman that is having sex that is not married. That's what God is saying. Because that's a whore in the sight of God. You see that thing? Next verse. Watch this.
Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore.
The what?
The hire of a whore.
the hire of a whore. So what is a whore? What is a hired whore? A whore that is hired, that today they call it a girlfriend, because there's no girlfriend in the Bible. So a girlfriend is a hired whore, because you didn't marry the sister. She's not married. So she's got the quote unquote freedom to deal with any man she sees fit. You see that thing? That's a hired whore according to the Bible. Read.
Oh, the price of a dog.
We went over this in the previous class, part 1, or the price of a dog, because she has a price. You understand? Go ahead.
Into the house of the Lord thy God for any vow.
Read.
For even both these are abominations unto the Lord thy God.
You see that thing? A hired whore, a priced dog. It says this is an abomination in the sight of the Most High. Watch this. Now, give me. Before we go there, let me share a video now. Okay, the reason why I'm bringing this out is because today you've got this quote unquote independent, single, independent black women who says, me, I don't want no man, I don't want to get married, but I like having boyfriend. So guess what they are doing? You know what they are pushing? They are the ones that are pushing whoredom in the land. They are the ones that are advocating for whoredom among the young women. They are the ones that are encouraging these young women, these young sisters, the young black sisters, to have boyfriends, to have sex without marriage, to have abortion, to be baby mamas. You see that thing? Teenage pregnancy. They are pushing that. They are responsible for it. You understand? Because they're supposed to what? They're supposed to teach their daughters to close their legs, and they're supposed to get a husband, not a boyfriend, to build a strong family structure. Because once you have that family structure and a husband and a wife, the children will grow up seeing that that's how it must be. Guess what? When they grow up, they'll do the same. That's how we build a strong nation, because there's a strong family structure, husband and wife. The black women don't want that. You see that thing? The black queen, because they have a whorish mindset. So which means they are okay when the position is spoiled. I want you men and women to understand what's coming out here. They like it when the position is spoiled. Because guess what? There's no hedge. I do whatever I want, the position gets spoiled. Watch this. Let me share my screen, okay? Let me share my screen so we can understand what's coming out here. Watch this. Let me share my screen so we can see. Now, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All praises. All praises. Okay, let me press play now.
I heard that you had a major epiphany about marriage.
I did.
Now, this is Oprah. This is Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes, she's responsible for a lot of TV shows she's responsible for a lot of TV shows. You see that thing? These are two black women. They have the same mindset, because Oprah is the devil, the Bible speaks of. Yeah, I said it. She's the devil. Okay? This woman also, Shonda Rhimes, she is the devil the Bible speaks of. Okay? Listen to what she says, this woman in blue.
I did, and that was really freeing as well. I sort of discovered, I knew, but I sort of was able to finally sort of stand up and say, I don't want to get married.
You see that part right there? She says she finally stood up and said, I don't want to get married. Because this woman, she's easily past her 40s. She's not less than 30 years old. She's not in her mid-30s. She's past 40, this woman.
At all. And I feel like
you said that out loud.
I said that out loud. I said it to everybody.
You see how dangerous that thing is? You see what Oprah is saying? And you said that out loud. Meaning what? Meaning this was something that was teaching on the inside. You know those people that say, I'm coming out. Meaning I want to be, I've been gay all my life. I've been afraid to say it. That's the same mindset. You see these people that say, no, I've been a lesbian. I like women. Now I'm finally coming out. That's the same mindset that's going on here.
I said it to my family. I said it to my friends. I said it to anybody who asked, which feels obvious and maybe silly or something to people who are married or people who are older or people who've been through it. But if you're a woman in your 30s or 40s, that's a big deal. Everybody's asking you all the time if it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. If you're dating anybody, they're definitely asking you about it.
You see that thing? It says when you are dating anybody, they'll be asking you about it. Are you going to get married? Because that's the natural thing to happen. That's why Elizabeth was saying, listen, hold on a second. I cannot conceive. I'm a reproach among men. When she conceived, she was hiding for 5 months because she wanted to make sure that I'm really pregnant. My point is, it's a natural thing for a woman to get married and a man to be married. Why? Because guess what? That's part of building the nation of Israel. That's family structure. And I'm not just talking about building the new, because that's all I'm interested in. But when you look at the other nations, right, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Arabs, the Edomites, white people and all of that, when you look at, they have businesses and all of that, you always see the husband and the wife. You go to Chinatown, husband and wife. You go to the Pakistani shop, there's the husband, there's the wife right there, the children. They be owning businesses, like maybe they own a hotel. The husband and wife will be sleeping in the same hotel that they own. You see that thing? But when it comes to the black woman, look at Oprah. Look at Shonda Rhimes. Single, and they say, I'm single, I'm independent, and I'm powerful. Guess what? The other nations, they just look at this, they laugh at us. You see what I'm saying? Watch this. Hold this. We coming back here. Give me Psalms 44 verse 18. Because David, he addressed this thing. Okay? David, he addressed this thing. Give me that in Psalms 44 verse 13. Watch this. They are the reason why we as a nation are spoiled. Because guess what? They don't want to listen to the black man, but they listen to the white man though. Because the white man is making sure that is the environment for them to push their wickedness. He creates the environment for them. He started in the garden in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Okay? Read that. Psalms 44 verse 13. Read that thing.
The book of Psalms, chapter 44 verse 13. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us.
You see what David is saying? He says, you are making us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. You are making us look bad, David is saying, by their actions and their conduct, the things they say, because they know that many people watch their shows. Many people like to see them on TV. Many girls, young women and young girls, they look up to these black ashy demons. You understand? And they also, when I grew up, I want to be like Oprah. We was at camp teaching. I asked this young girl, who's your role model? Beyonce. The woman that is always half naked. That's her role model. You can't make this stuff up. Okay? Next verse. Go ahead.
Thou makest us a byword among the heathen.
Read.
A shaking of the head among the people.
You see that thing? Thou makest us a byword among the heathen. That's why when it comes to marriage, black people don't even think about marriage no more. That's a byword. That's a curse. That's not a good thing. You understand? Thou making us a byword among the heathen, among these other nations. A shaking of the head among the people. They be shaking their head. Then look at the nigger. Look at the baby mama. Baby David. You understand? There's always drama. That's what David is addressing here. And that's what we're seeing right here. And remember what she says, my family said it, my family be wondering, my family be asking. Guess what? She's older. Obviously, she's got older sisters and brothers, parents, and whatever. They be asking about what's happening. I mean, you are successful according to Esau, but how come there's no stability in your personal life? The instability, that means something wrong with you. But they don't think like that because apparently money is supposed to cover the shame. No, it don't.
It's a big...
First they ask, are you dating?
Yes.
Then particularly if you're a famous person. First, are you dating, who you're dating? And then the moment you're dating more than a month, it's when are you getting married? Yes. How close is the relationship? There's a lot of pressure on that.
You see that thing right there? I mean, these are not 18-year-olds, but they're acting like 18-year-olds. I mean, Oprah, she's not 13. Shonda Rhimes, she's not 12. But the conversation that they're having, I mean, it's like, I'm unbelievable. No wisdom is coming out of their mouth. You see what I'm saying?
huge amount of pressure. And the desire to want to get married, it's a lot like the desire to want to have children in our society. Like you're supposed to want it. And if you
hold on, meaning you see what they're making it seem like a woman wanting to get married is the best thing. A woman wanting to have children is the best thing. That's why she's saying, meaning society puts a lot of pressure on you to make you want to. It's like you're supposed to have children. You're supposed to get married. Of course you're supposed to, because when no hair kills, there the possession is spoiled. You see that thing? Because let's say, okay, they don't want to get married, they don't want to have children, but they don't listen to their fathers, they don't listen to their uncles, but they listen to the white man. He teaches them how to dress. He teaches them to put weaves on their head. He teaches them to bleach their skin. He teaches them to do what? To defile the mindset of the young girls that are looking up to these demons. Yeah, Terry.
Don't want it. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me. And I always knew, I'm one of those people. Since I was 5, I could tell you I was going to have kids. I could tell you I was going to have 3. I could tell you they were going to be girls. But I have never wanted to get married. I never played bride. I was never interested. I don't know what it is. I never wanted to get married. I love having boyfriends. I love dating.
Oh my God, man, you can't make this stuff up. Let me rewind, because some of you, I know you've missed it.
It is. I never wanted to get married. I love having boyfriends. I love dating.
You see that thing? I love having boyfriends. I love dating. Hold that. Give me that in Leviticus 19, verse 29. These are the reasons why there's so much whoredom in the black community. You see what I'm saying? I love having boyfriends. So now the young girl, because I think she wrote Grey's Anatomy, that show on TV, that medical show and all of that. And there's other shows as well. I love having boyfriends. I love dating. What is that? That's code word for what? That's code word for me. I'm a whore. That's code word. In case you don't know what that means. That means I love being a whore. I love whoring myself out. That's what they are really saying. Read it. Leviticus 19:29. Read it again.
The book of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29.
Go ahead.
Do not persecute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore. Let the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness.
So now, you see what she said? He said, I love having boyfriends. As old as she is, she loves having boyfriends. As old as she is, she loves dating. Unbelievable. Now watch this. You see that part when it says, do not prosecute their daughters to cause her to be a whore? Give me 1 Corinthians 15, verse 33. I want to show you something. Because many young girls, they've watched this. Because how many hits did it get? Views? 745,000. Close to 1 million views. And a lot of women listen to this clip. A lot of young girls, they hear this woman talk. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 33. This is the problem. They are the ones that are prostituting our daughters. That means the sisters, because it's mainly black women that watch this. When they hear this, they're also going to say the same thing. I love having boyfriends. I don't want to settle down. I love holding myself out. I don't want to be tied to no man. Read it. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 33. Come on.
First book of Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
You see what the Bible is saying? It says, don't be deceived, because this communication that is coming out of this woman's mouth is evil communication. It says it corrupts good manners. What is a good manner? A woman under her father's roof, she's been prepared for marriage. You understand? When she gets to a certain age, she's given to a man of understanding to build a family, to make sure that as a nation, we are not a reproach, because right now we are. These independent black women, they are the ones that are pushing this garbage out. That's the spirit of feminist. That's the feminist movement. The feminist movement that started in the garden with our foremother Eve, when she listened to the devil. And today she's still listening to the same devil that she listened to in the garden, which is the white man. Read again, verse 33.
First book of Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Because this is evil communication coming out of this woman's mouth. She's not professing godliness. She's not professing that young girls should get married. You don't hear that. All they are pushing with Jada Pinkett, with Queen Latifah, they're becoming lesbians and all of that. They are the role models today for these young girls. Okay? They are the role models today. They are not setting the right example. Give me Judith 8:24. This is our foremother Judith. This is the mindset of our foremother Judith. Okay? Judith 8, verse 24. Watch this. Read it.
The book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 24.
Go ahead.
Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren.
Let us do what?
Let us show an example to our brethren.
Let us show an example to our brethren. They are not showing the right example. They are not showing the right example to our young sisters that are coming up. They are prostituting them by their speech. There's evil communication that's coming out of the airways. Read.
Because their hearts depend on us.
You see that thing? Because these young girls, they look up to these women. They look up to Oprah. They look up to Shonda Rhimes. They look up to Beyonce. You see that thing? Beyonce would be pushing out independent women, but she go back to her husband. Unbelievable. You see that thing? She's been telling women to be independent. You understand? You are replaceable and all of that. But guess what? She goes back to her husband. You still think you're sitting down there in them cuckoo. Read that thing again, verse 24.
The book of Judith. Oh, now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren, because their hearts depend on us and the sanctuary.
Read.
And more, and house and the altar rest upon us.
Read it right. Read it right. Come on. Verse 24 again.
The book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 24. Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren, because their hearts depend on us. And the sanctuary and the house and the altar rest upon us.
You see that thing? Because the sanctuary is what? That's the temple. We don't have the temple today, but we are the temple. We are Jerusalem. You understand? So these young girls that are looking up to these women that hate nation building, you understand? We have to now push this truth to, we need to push this truth to new heights. That's why I take no prisoners when I see brothers do something about basic stuff. We have a nation to build because this is the reason why we have to build a nation. You understand? You sisters too. This is the reason why I need you sisters to study, need you sisters to apply, need you sisters to make sure that you set the right example based on leadership command. I don't want the sister that being a loose cannon which we've seen in the past. I don't want to see that because of this, what we're watching here. I need this thing to sink in your spirit. Okay? This is the reason why I want to go back to the sea. It's because of women like this. Understand that? Okay?
I do not want, I never wanted to get married. I love having boyfriends. I love dating. I do not want a husband in my house.
You see that thing? She says, I love boyfriends, I love dating, but I do not want a husband in my house. You know why that is? 1 Corinthians 11. This is the reason why she don't want a husband. Okay? But she wants boyfriend. You know why she wants boyfriend? Because after after the boyfriend is done servicing her, guess what? The boyfriend can keep it moving because she doesn't want nobody telling her what to do. You see these women, they don't check one another. They don't correct each other. They don't call each other out. They enable one another to do the evil. I'm yet to see a show where black women call each other out. I'm yet to see them. They don't correct one another. You understand? And that's the reason why you see the feminist movement is given so much air time. It's given so much air time. The LGBT is given so much air time. Because the feminist movement is the same thing as the LGBT. It's not about nation building. They go against the family structure, men and women, to build a nation. How can a man and a man build a nation? How are they going to do it? How can a man and a woman just shaking up, you understand, having sex? How are they going to build a nation? They will not. That's what she's pushing. You understand? Watch this. You know what? Before I go any further, I'll just play the next video, then I'll deal with these other scripts.
I don't know what it is. I just don't.
Yeah, we know what it is. She does not want a hedge over her. So people like Shonda Rhimes, that's an example of a possession that is spoiled. People like Oprah, that's an example of a possession that is spoiled. Because the shows that they put out is not about building the nation, it's about women on top, men begging for the women. They're not teaching that women must submit. I'm yet to see a show on own network, Oprah Winfrey Network, that she's pushing for women to submit to their husbands. I've never seen them. I'm yet to see them. Okay. Let's look at the next video. 1 second. Now, I'm going to show you the opposite of that. Because after this woman speaks, you will see nobody slapping. Okay, watch this. Let me share my screen. Really, I want to show you the mindset of these black queens. Not you righteous sisters up in here. Watch this. Now let's play this one.
All right, April, you've been married.
Now,
all right, April, you've been married for 12 years.
This man, he's a simp, this one, okay? He's simp. This is a classic example of simp 101. But listen to what the sister says now. The complete opposite of what we just saw.
Years, do women need marriage?
Now, he's asking the question, okay? He says, do women need marriage? Let's hear what the sister says.
I originally didn't want to get married, Carlos. I always felt that, you know, I was an artist, a free spirit, just a little further blowing in the wind. I don't.
You see what she's saying? It says, originally, I did not want to get married. That means something happened to see the importance of being married. You see that thing? And the way she's putting it, some women are not actually happy with what she's saying at the beginning. I just want it to be free. I want it to be a feather flowing and blowing in the wind. Because that's what these women, their mindset is like. Okay? Listen now.
I don't need a man, I can shack up. And I was fine with that until I met Jay. And he insisted that, you know what, April, it's important for us to tie the knot and form this union. I said, sure, what the hell? So fast forward 12 years later, I look back and I go.
So this woman has been married for 12 years, okay?
You know what? Getting married was absolutely necessary for me because...
You see what she's saying? She's saying getting married was absolutely necessary for her. She's seeing the importance of being married. Because now she's comparing the life when she was not and the life the life that she now has when she's married, and she's seeing the importance and the necessity of being married. Hebrews 13 verse 4 again. Okay? She's seeing the honor of marriage. You understand? Hebrews 13 verse 4 again. Read it.
The book of Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4.
Read.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulteresses, God will judge.
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge. So marriage is honorable. And that's what she's saying. Because remember what she said. She says, but when I met Jay, which is the husband said, the husband is the one that said, we need to get married. What is that proof? The husband controls the relationship. The man controls the relationship. The woman controls access to sex. You see that thing? The man is the one that decides, I'm going to what? I'm going to put a covering of honor over your head. That's the husband decides that. The man is the one that decides that thing. You see that thing? Now, watch this. Because she said that the man is the one that said, we need to get married. Watch this. Give me Tobit chapter 1 verse 9. This is one of my favorite chapters, by the way. The book of Tobit. Not chapters, but book. Give me Tobit 1 verse 9. Watch this. Come on. After second Ezra. Read what you got.
The book of Tobit, chapter 9, verse...
No, chapter 1, verse 9. Pay attention.
The book of Tobit, chapter 1, verse 9.
Read.
Furthermore, when I was come to the age of a man.
When I was what?
When I was come to the age of a man.
When I was come to the age of a man. The age of a man. Now Toby is no longer a boy. He's a man now. He's never been a boyfriend. He's a man. He says, when I come to the age of a man, what does it mean to be a man? Watch this. One of the ways of showing that you are a man. Watch this. Really. Come on.
I married Anna of my own kindred.
Hold on. What did Toby do?
I married.
You see that?
I married Anna.
Toby got married. Toby got married. He says, when I came to the age of a man, I married Anna of my own kindred, and of her I begat Tobiah. So when he got to the age of a man, he understood marriage is honorable. That's how we build a nation. Marriage is honorable. Now I'm a man now. I grew up in the laws of the Most High God. You can read about that from verse 1 all the way down. Now it says, when I come to the age of a man, guess what I did? Give me that in First Maccabees 2. Okay? It says, because one of the ways of showing that you are a man, you get married because that's the law. You see that thing? It's not good that men should be alone. Watch this. Give me First Maccabees 2. Okay? First Maccabees 2 verse 64. Watch this.
First book of Maccabees, chapter 2, verses 64.
Go ahead.
Wherefore, ye, my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law.
Read.
For by it shall ye obtain glory.
You see that thing right there? It says, wherefore ye, my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law. Meaning stand up for the laws of the Most High. One of the laws of the Most High is what? Is marriage is honorable. So get married. If you're not married, don't be having sex. You see that thing? So it says what? Marriage, it says, ye my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law. For by it, by you keeping the commandments of the Most High, ye shall obtain glory, the kingdom of heaven on earth, rulership of empire forever. You see that thing? Now, let's go back to the video.
So, you know what? Fast forward to form this union. He insisted that, you know what, April, until I met Jay, and I don't need a man, I can shack up, and I was fine with that. Until I met Jay, and he insisted that, you know what, April, it's important for us to tie the knot and form this union. I said, sure, what the hell? So fast forward 12 years later, I look back and I go, you know what, getting married was absolutely necessary for me because that union helped me to learn more about who I am.
You see that thing? It says that union of marriage, that covenant of marriage, it says it taught her to know who she is, meaning what? Because when you are by yourself, you don't know if you're a good woman or not until you are under the command of a man. You don't know what type of woman you are. So if you never had a hedge of your father over you, when you get married, it's gonna be a very steep learning curve. You understand? Because now you need to learn how to submit. You need to learn how to humble down. You need to learn how to listen to instructions and execute those instructions. You see that thing? So now she's starting to see marriage put her spirit to the test. That's the point.
It helped me to love myself more because how you go love somebody else if you can't love yourself first? So marriage was necessary for me in that aspect. It also showed me how to have a selfless love.
You see that thing? How to submit. Because she's also, the way she's responding, she's very political because, you know, she's got a career, she's a celebrity. But the point is, she says she learned how to be what? How not to be selfish. How not to be about me. Because this independent singing black women, that's all they're about. Me. Here, you know, there's no good men out there. You know, as women, they be having teddy bears, hugging each other. You see what I'm saying? That's what they do. Let's have a group hug. That's what men say. Nobody corrects when they don't correct each other.
How to learn and to grow with someone who I was different from, and to sometimes put those things to the side that were always about me. So
you see that thing? Meaning it's about it. Meaning she said she learned not to be. It's not about her. That's some heavy stuff right there. You see that?
For me, marriage was absolutely necessary.
You see that? And what I want to show you is that there's no clapping of hands because there's black Asian women up in there. They be like, me, I don't want to submit to no man. You'll always find those, and the black Asian demons, there's more black Asian demons than righteous ones. Okay? Now, let's look at the next one. The next video. Now, you see, the second sister that we saw is the one that is marriage is an honorable thing. Now, the next sister, her name is Sharaza Ali. Okay, she's going to, you see that? Sharazat Ali. This woman right here, listen. Just listen to what she says. She's talking particularly to this independent black Asian queen. Okay?
They didn't tell us that if you give up, the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation.
You see what she said? It says they didn't tell us that if you give up your man, meaning I'm an independent black woman, Esau did not explain to the black woman that if you give up your black man, your hedge, your king, these are the side effects of you saying I'm an independent single black woman. There's side effects that goes with that. Because we saw what happened in the garden with Eve. When she gave up Adam, when she stopped listening to Adam, what happened to Eve? What happened to the nation then? What happened to the nation? Everything got destroyed. You see that?
They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation. They didn't give us that information. They made us think that it was some kind of glorified position to brag about the fact that I got my own job, my own credit card, my own car, so I don't need no man. I don't even know how we got that mixed up. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with being with no man. You know, we talk about the great strength that we have as black your nation. They didn't give us that information.
You see, she's talking about nation building. She's saying, listen, you being told or you being tricked into giving up your man, your hedge, that caused you to what? To be in power. There's all these side effects that came in, which is what? The consequences of it was what? The destruction of the black family. That's what she's saying.
They made us think that it was some kind of glorified position to brag about the fact that I got my own job, my own credit card, my own car, so I don't need no man. I don't even know how we got that mixed up. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with being with no man. You know, we talk about the great strength that we have as black women. Well, the welfare department don't rent government apartments to single black men. Those apartments belong to black women.
You see what she's saying? It says, you see, the welfare department does not give houses to women that are married. They don't give them to single. They don't give those to black men, single black men. They give them to single black women who don't have no men. So guess what? The government, the Esau rewards the black woman for not having a man. How does Esau reward the black woman? Esau rewards the black woman by giving her what? That's why today, if you look at the salaries that the black women get today, is they give them very high salaries. They give them very high positions. Give me that in Jeremiah 31 verse 22. They give them high salaries, high paying jobs. They give them high positions and all of that. They live this lavish lifestyle and they look down on their black men. Esau, that's how Esau rewards the black woman for destroying, for saying, I don't want no man, for not listening to the black man, you understand, for destroying the black family. Esau rewards her. Whether in big corporate or normal average job. Guess what? That's why the SASA, you understand? That's why the social security. Social security is not for the black man, it's for the black woman.
They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation. They didn't give us that information. They made us think that it was some kind of glorified position to brag about the fact that I got my own job, my own credit card, my own car, so I don't need no man. I don't even know how we got that mixed up. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with being with no man. You know, we talk about the great strength that we have as black women. Well, the welfare department don't rent government apartments to single black men. Those apartments belong to black women who are allowing this to go on in their home.
You see that thing? So this single black woman, she says they allow this thing to go on. You see that thing? They allow it to go on. They happy, they're okay with it because they don't have to have the black man telling them what to do. But it's not like they don't want a man telling them what to do. The only ones they just don't want the black man telling them what to do. But when it comes to the white man, they listen to them wholeheartedly. No lip, no nothing, no back talk.
Not looked at what part of the responsibility do we share. Yes, black men sell a lot of drugs, and a lot of us black women get the money from them drugs and buy some of these fancy clothes we wear.
That's a heavy stuff. She's saying these black women, they be saying black men sell a lot of drugs. But the same black women that be talking smack, they are the same black women that get the money from these drug dealers to live this lavish lifestyle. Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Drive around in some of these fancy cars. He is not doing these things alone and without support from us, whether they are good or bad.
Nah, that's some heavy stuff right there. This sister right here, you listen to that sister. You sisters, you better Google the sister right here. Sharazad Ali, you better Google the sister and listen to what she said. Okay? Let's look at the next video. Okay? Let me see. Oh, here's another one. You see, this I think this is the show that like The Real. I guess there's The View. You've got the show called The View. You've got the show called The Real. Here you've got black women, ashy black women, and they are what? They're also sitting with Moabites. So the Moabites, they really make me sick. Okay. Now listen to what this Moabite says. Just listen to what she says. Now they are speaking ill of this brother. The brother, he spoke the truth. Now they got cut. Now they are speaking ill of the brother. Listen. Let me play the video now.
There's some fuming females mad at Marcus, his latest Instagram video where he shared his thoughts about the type of woman a man really wants. Take a look.
No man, no real man, want no woman that's 100% independent. You know, it's cool to be self-sufficient. It's cool to be able to get out here and do your thing and handle your business if you need to, but all that 100% independent, I don't need no nothing type attitude. Listen, that ain't gonna get you nowhere with us, okay? Not no real man, because part of the reason we was even put on earth is to protect and provide. If you don't need me to do none of that, what you want me for?
That's right.
So, ladies, do you agree? If a woman is fully independent, is she worthless to a man when it comes to being in a relationship with him?
You see how she's saying it? She's saying it with anger. She's saying it, she's upset. She's angry of what this brother is saying. The brother is saying, listen, if you are fully independent, what you need a man for? You say, I have everything. So what you need a man for? You see that thing? Now she did this black ashy demon. She's saying that she's repeating what the brother said, but she's saying it with anger. Look at the contempt in her face. You see, if it was, let me put it like this. If it was up to the black woman, I tell you, our ass would still be in chains. I tell you straight. If it was up to the black woman, the black man, we must all be committed to prison. That's how the black man, that's the mindset of the black woman.
You to do none of that, what you want me for?
So, ladies, do you agree? If a woman is fully independent, is she worthless to a man when it comes to being in a relationship with him?
He just said, if you don't want me to protect and provide, what do you need me for? I got a list for love.
You see that thing? Now she's activated, and by the way, look at this woman's finger. You see her left hand? What does she have on her finger? What does she have? She's got a ring. She's married. You see that thing? I want to show you the hypocrisy of these women. So she's saying she basically they have a problem with what the brother is saying about this independent thing. There's no such thing in the Bible. We just proved it. But these are the women, these are the enemies of God right here. Because these women, they're the ones that want the possession, particularly the nation of Israel, to be spoiled, especially the black women. These are the advocates of Satan. Okay?
love, kindness, loyalty, faithfulness, companionship, friendship, a laughter, good times. What? You sound ridiculous. I never heard of
You see that thing? I want to show you right now. You see these women, they are evil. I'll tell you straight. You see, after she said all of that, man, she's looking to her right to see if they agree with her or not. Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
Let's play it again.
Laughter, good times.
Watch that. You see that thing? Right there. So she wants to see if she got enablers, and of course she does. Watch this. Give me the book of Romans chapter 1. You see, the Bible has got everything here. I want you sisters to see the thing. Romans chapter 1. Romans chapter 1 and verse 26. You know what? Start at verse 25.
The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25.
Go ahead.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie. And worship and serve the creature more than the creator, which is blessed forever. Amen.
So now it says, who changed the truth of God into a lie? The white man has done that thing. The white man has changed the truth of God into a lie, because the truth of God is the laws of God. Give me that in Romans chapter 2, verse 20. Romans 2, verse 20. The white man is the one that changed the truth of God into a lie, to teach the people to worship the creation rather than the creator. Read what you got. Romans 2, verse 20.
The book of Romans chapter 2, verse 20. An instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes, which has the form of knowledge and of the truth in the law.
You see that thing? And of the truth which is found in God's commandment. So the white man is the one that changed the truth of God that is found in God's laws into a lie. You see that thing? Now go back to Romans 1. Romans chapter 1, verse 26. Watch this. Because all that we've been seeing from Shonda Rhimes to obviously the second and third video, the second and third video, the second and third video addresses the proper family structure, the women that are about the building of the nation of Islam. That the first one with Oprah and Shonda Rhimes, those are the enemies of God. This woman right here and this black Ashy demon next to her, these are the enemies of God right here. Now read that. Romans 1:26. This is the mindset of these women. Read it.
The book of Romans chapter 1, verse 26. For this cause, God gave them up to vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
You see that part right there? It says even there, it says because they are worshiping the creation rather than the creator. Women are worshiping themselves and they want to be worshipped. And that's what the media is pushing out, this feminist garbage. Okay? Then it says, because for this cause, God gave them up unto vile affections. That's what they're saying. I don't need no man. That's a vile affection. I don't need to get married. That's a vile affection. You see that thing? I don't need to be tied down. I don't need nobody telling me what to do. That is a vile affection. It's not according to the Most High God. It says even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. So the natural use of a woman is to get married and have kids, build a family. The unnatural use of a woman is a woman who is jumping from raw to raw to raw. That is the unnatural use of a woman. When she's being abused by all these men she sleeps with, you see that thing? That's not the natural cause of things. That's not the natural cause of things. But I want to show you. Watch this. Jump down to verse 29. Because remember now, these women, they've changed the natural use of that which is against nature. Now read verse 29. Watch this. I'm going to show you their mindset. Okay? Read verse 28 actually. Start from there.
The book of Romans chapter 1, verse 28.
Read.
And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge.
They don't like to retain God in their knowledge. They don't want to do that. So guess what? That's because they are worshiping the creature more than the creator. That's why they don't want to retain God in their knowledge. Read on.
God gave them over to a reprobate mind.
You see that thing? God gave them over to a reprobate mind. Meaning what? A mind that is void of judgment. Read.
To do those things which are not convenient.
So to do those things which are not convenient. A single woman, being a single mother, being a single woman sleeping with multiple men, that is something that is not convenient. Is it convenient? When all these spirits of all these men that you're sleeping with, they are all up in you. That's not convenient. Go ahead.
Being filled with all unrighteousness.
You see that thing? That's the problem right there. Because of they are doing things, they are worshiping the creation rather than the creator. The Lord says, they are gonna fill you with all unrighteousness because they are in the midst of idolatry, worshiping themselves and wanting themselves to be worshipped. All unrighteousness, go ahead.
Fornication.
Fornication, sexual sin. Like Shonda Rhimes was saying, me, I don't like no man. I love having boyfriends. I love dating. You see that thing? Fornication. They are filled with fornication. Go ahead.
Wickedness.
Wickedness. Go ahead.
Covetousness.
Covetousness. Go ahead. Which is idolatry. Read.
Maliciousness.
Maliciousness, because their intent is not to build the nation. Their intent, they don't want to tell you, I don't want no man to tell me what to do. That's the intent. Read.
Full of envy.
They are full of envy. Who are they envying? They are envying the position of the man. They are envying the position that God has put the man in. The black man. The black man is a God on this earth. They envy that position. So if for them to want to be equal or above the position that the Most High God has bestowed upon the black man, they made a deal with the devil. I'm going to tell you straight, that's what the black woman has done. Because our foremother Eve did it in the garden, the black woman is doing it today with the white man. She made a deal with the devil just so she don't have to listen to the black man. Read.
Murder.
Hatred.
Debate.
What?
Debate.
They love to debate. They love to debate. They like to go back and forth. You understand? To make excuses for their sin, for their lust. They love to debate. Go ahead.
Deceit.
They are deceitful. Okay, come on.
Malignity.
Malignity. Read. Meaning cancerous. Read.
Malignity. Whisperers.
Whisperers. They like to gossip. They like to put something in your ear. Which ear? The ears of the young black women that are coming up, looking up to them. And because these are the role models now. Read.
Backbiters.
Backbiters. They backbite. Read.
Haters of God.
You see that thing? That's it right there. These are haters of God. They hate the Most High. Read.
Despiteful.
They despiteful. Read.
Proud.
Oh my God, man. They are proud. They are haughty. Like we read about last week in Isaiah 3:16. The daughters of Zion are haughty. That's the prideness. Read.
Boasters.
We're going to see the boasting in a minute. Just keep going.
Inventors of evil things.
They are inventors of evil things. What is the evil things that they're inventing? You don't need no man. You don't need no man to tell you what to do. You understand? I'm independent. I'm strong. I'm an independent, strong black woman. These are evil. These things. These are evil inventions. Okay, go ahead.
Without understanding.
No. Inventors of evil things. Next part of that verse.
Disobedient to parents.
They don't listen to their parents. Disobedient to parents. You understand? Read.
Without understanding.
They have no understanding. The only understanding they have is what? Is the lust they want to fulfill in their spirit. Read.
Covenant breakers.
They're covenant breakers because the Lord gave us the commandment. They broke that covenant. They don't want to follow it. Meaning what? Women, submit to your husband. Submit, listen to your father. Submit to your father if you're not married. Submit to your husband when you are married. They don't want to do that. Read.
Without natural affection.
You see that thing? Listen. When a woman says, "Me, I love dating, I love having boyfriends, but I don't want a man. I don't want a husband in my house. I don't want a man in my house." That's without natural affection. Because if you have natural affection, you would want to have that. Because you understand, if I don't have that, that's why we have all these hoes. We hear Caribbean says, "There's some hoes in this house." That's the garbage you hear. Read.
Implacable.
Implacable. I'm not going to go into that now. Read.
Unmerciful.
They have no mercy. Next verse, watch this. Because they don't care about the young girls that are coming up. They are not setting the right example that we read in Genesis 8:24. They don't want to set the right example. They are setting the poor example with their evil communication to deceive the young women that are coming up. Read.
Who knowing the judgments of God.
And guess what? In their spirit, they know the judgment of God because God put in them a conscience to know between right and wrong. But they do the wrong thing anyway. They know the judgment of God for the evil inventions that they do. Read.
That they which commit such things are worthy of death.
Because they know that they that commit such things are worthy of death. Watch this. Go ahead.
Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
That's the key right there. But have pleasure in them that do them. Meaning what? They have enablers. People that are enabling them to continue inventing these evil things and pushing it out with these shows that they have. I mean, how many people watch this thing? 806,000. And it's women. Particularly the black women, all of these falling for garbage. Now, listen to what this demon says. Listen.
What? Friendship, laughter, good times. What? You sound ridiculous. I've never heard anything so dumb in my whole life.
You see that thing? She says, a brother saying, so if you are independent and strong, what you need a man for then? That's why they buy dildos and all of that. They be sexing themselves, but let's say, it's not the same as having a man. It's impossible. But she's saying all of this, she's got a ring on her finger. She's married. So who's sleeping in the audience? The stupid black woman. Yes, I said it.
First of all, let me tell you something. A real man is not intimidated.
Let me
First
see something.
of all, let me tell you.
That's it right there. That's it right there. You see this woman? Can you see the cursor?
Yes, sir.
The black woman the black woman that started speaking with contempt. Look at her. Look at her left arm. Look at her hand. Does she have a ring on her finger? No, she don't.
No, sir.
No, she does not. Guess what? Genesis 32. I'm going to show you why she was speaking with such contempt. What the brother said. This is the reason why she said what she said. Genesis 32 real quick. This is why this black woman said what she said. Sirach 32 and verse 15. Watch this.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 32, verse 15.
Go ahead.
He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith. But the hypocrite will be offended thereat.
But the hypocrite will be offended thereat. The reason why she's offended is because she's a hypocrite. Yeah, she's a hypocrite. That's why she's offended. And this woman that is speaking, this one that she's loud, she's speaking because she's married. She doesn't have to, that does not affect her at all. But this black woman, she's upset. She's offended. And now this one is speaking on her behalf. Let's keep watching.
Something. A real man is not intimidated by a woman that doesn't need you.
You see that thing? She says a real man is not intimidated by a woman who doesn't need you. What did we just read? You need a hedge over you. These women, they are inventors of evil things. And the ones that are sleeping, many of them, they are not married. That's why they are here. They are not married. You understand? That's why they are sleeping to this. And guess what? They are sleeping for the work of a woman who's married. After the show is done, she goes back to her husband.
My questions, because in all honesty, I didn't know who this young gentleman was. So I had to ask questions, and I found out that he is on Love and Hip Hop, and he dates on and off again Brooke Valentine, who we've had on the show here.
You see that thing? That is right there. You see that is tactic. You ever see whenever a black man gets killed, right? And he's killed by a white man. When they do the investigation to arrest this white man that is committing the crime, you know what they're gonna start doing? They start investigating. Nobody smoked weed, or nobody, he didn't pay his child support. Wait a minute. So what does that have to do with this white man that is killed, this black man? What does that have to do with it? Now you see what she's saying. Now she's going back. She says, no, this young man that is spoken, he's on love and hip hop, he's an on and off relationship. What does that have to do with what is there? Absolutely nothing. But they will mention that to throw you off. Some evil stuff here.
And the reason why they are on and off is because he has been accused of not.
Yeah, and you see what she said? You see how she speaks? She wants to make sure that you see that she's married. I want you brothers to see this thing. Watch this. Some evil stuff here. Give me the book of Revelation. This is the spirit of Esau right here. Revelation chapter 13, right? Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11. Watch this. Revelation 13, verse 11.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake like a dragon.
He spake as a dragon. He said the two horns like a lamb. These two horns represent republicanism and democratic system and republicanism. Now, it says he has two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So guess what? A lamb is a very timid and innocent animal. But a dragon, the way they speak, guess what? Is to destroy. Here she is, she's making it seem like, you see what she's speaking? What she's speaking is not equal with what is on her finger. She's married, and guess what? She's speaking to do what? To give life to the lifestyle that these women that are sleeping, to continue that whorish lifestyle. That's what she's doing. But yet, when the show is done, she goes back to her husband.
Not being faithful. So that is what, from what I understand. With that being said, a man like this, to me, from what I'm seeing in this situation, just my opinion, if I had to watch this and give it a diagnosis, I would say, oh, so you want her to not be independent so that she's dependent on you, so that when you out doing your mess, she can't go nowhere and do nothing because she has to sit around and wait on your dumb ass. No, thank you. Next.
She done got hot today.
I think this is ridiculous.
She done got hot.
Because let me tell you something. You don't. You can have your own. We have our own. I am self-sufficient.
You got your
I don't need a man. I don't need a man. But guess what? I want you, and that's the difference.
You see that thing? Enabler. She's got enabler, and 806,000 out of the people that saw this. Guess what? The majority is the black woman. She says you don't need a man. He says I don't need a man, but yes, she's married. She says, I want a man. I don't need a man. But she's married now. I want you to see the evil that goes on in the media. You understand? These are the enemies of God. Tell you straight. I'm going to tell you straight. These are the enemies of God right here.
That's the difference. And if I choose you.
Now, when you look at these women that are sleeping up in here.
And that's the difference.
The majority of them, they are singing. You see that thing? And the simp. You can't go wrong with the simp. You'll always find a simp sitting there just promoting this stuff.
If I choose you, that's not to say, oh, because I make my own money, that means no man can buy me something or do anything.
Let them know.
I have my money, it goes in the bank, you buy me dinner.
You got a bank account.
You see that thing? Remember what that sister said, Sharazan Ali? He said, you having money, having your own bank account, that has nothing to do with you having a man. Let's go back, because I know some of you forgot what she said already. Okay? Let me go back. Because the sister said it. I'll play it again.
They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation. They didn't give us that information. They made us think that it was some kind of glorified position to brag about the fact that I got my own job, my own credit card, my own car, so I don't need no man. I don't even know how we got that mixed up. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with being with no man. You know.
You see what she's saying? I've got my own job, I've got my own credit card, I've got my own this. He says, what does that have to do with behaving a man? Absolutely nothing. Because think about it. The women, they need us. And I'm going to explain it. I'm going to go into the scriptures to prove what I'm saying. You understand? I'm going to go into the scriptures to prove everything that I'm saying. These are the things that I have to watch to be able to edify. But man, these things, they make me sick.
I don't get that.
You could buy your own if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's like saying Jay-Z don't buy Beyonce nothing because she has her own.
The only thing you ain't got is a car, but you're going to get one next year.
Hallelujah.
Because you don't know how to drive yet. But
I'm working on that.
So you're going to get that,
And it just sounds dumb. There are plenty of other areas that you could need a man in that aren't financial. And I think that's...
You see that part right there? I want to show you, like, even in their speech, their own speech is condemning them. She's saying there's other parts where you need a man. She just finished saying, not so long ago, she said, you don't need a man. Am I wrong?
That's what I heard.
That's what she just said, right? She just said that. But listen to what she says now, a couple of seconds later.
Sounds dumb. There are plenty of other areas that you could need a man in that aren't financial. And I think that's the issue that I have with this, is that he's saying protect and provide. Are you protecting my heart?
It's archaic.
That's you're failing at too, sweetie.
It's archaic thinking, and it's also controlling.
Yeah, that's it right there. You see that thing? That's it right there. He says, she says, because I'm going to translate because we black. She says, it's archaic thinking. What does that mean? Meaning what? This is old way of thinking. That's the black woman she's saying. The black woman is saying that's archaic thinking, meaning that's the old way of thinking. Shortly after that, what did she say? Listen to what this black woman says now.
It's archaic.
That's you're failing at too, sweetie.
It's archaic thinking, and it's also controlling.
That's it right there. That's the issue. The issue is, no, you are controlling me. It's also controlling, meaning she doesn't want nobody to tell her what to do. You see the thing? Because if she was married, she was not going to leave the house dressed with her boobs showing. This woman is married. Do you see her boobs showing?
Covered up,
no. Sir? Her chest is covered. But this black ashy demon, guess what? Her cleavage is showing. Oh man, these black women, they make this type of black women like that. These type of black, I'm not saying all black women, because we've got righteous sisters opinion, but I'm talking about these particular, they make me sick to my stomach. They make me sick to my stomach. They are the reason why we're still in slavery. I'm telling you straight. They are the reason why we're still in captivity. Okay?
Men like this want to control a woman, in my opinion, because they make you dependent on them. And, and that's why a lot of women, when you get into certain situations, you can't get out because you're dependent on this, you're dependent on that, and you make your decisions because you're thinking, oh, I got to depend on him for that, and it's not right.
Yeah.
You see that thing? That's the reason why these black women are single, independent, and alone, because of this mindset right here. That's the reason why these black women, many of these black queens, they are single, independent, and alone. And this is the mindset they have. Corrupt. You understand? They have a corrupt mindset. Okay? Now, I'm going to deal with that. Well, that's it on that. Okay? She says now they are controlling and all of that. The real reason behind the speech, this is the real reason behind that. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 11 now. Okay, because I want to show you that these women right here, these women, they are the enemies of the Most High God. And the reason why they behave, they say the things they do, they act the way they do, it is for this reason right here. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3. Let's read that.
First book of Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
You see that thing? Is that the head of the woman is the man. Notice it didn't just say husband. No, the man. Period. So whether it's your father, whether it's your uncle, you see that thing? Whether it's the leadership, the leadership in the congregation, that's why it says man. But the Christian black woman says, but he's not my husband. He's not going to tell me what to do. No, sister, that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says the head of the woman is the man. It didn't say the head of the woman is the husband. The husband is the man, first and foremost. Okay, let's just get that out there because we're slow. Black people, we're slow. Slow baby. So the head of the woman is the black man. You see that thing? So this is what they are fighting against. They are fighting against what? They are fighting against the black man ruling over them. That's what they don't want. First Timothy. They don't want that. They don't want the black man ruling over them. First Timothy chapter 3, verse 5. Watch this.
First book of Timothy chapter 3 is 5. First book of Timothy chapter 3 verse 5.
Come on.
For if a man know not how to rule his own house.
How to what?
How to rule his own house.
You see that thing? Because men are born to rule. We are the rulers and the leaders of the earth. The black men. We are the gods of the earth. It says, if a man know not how to rule, because that's what makes a man, to rule, to keep God's commandments and use God's commandments to rule the nation and to lead the nations in the path of righteousness. If a man don't know how to rule his own house, go ahead.
How shall he take care of the church of God?
How shall he take care of the church of God? He cannot. Because the man, the black man, the God that he is on this earth, his job is to rule. And the black woman is supposed to submit under the rulership of that black man. Watch this. Genesis 3 verse 15. I know some sisters be preaching on this verse. Read it. Genesis 3 verse 15. Come on, come on, come on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verses 16.
Go ahead.
Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Go ahead.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
Read.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
You see that thing? Your desire shall be to your husband, and he shall rule over you. You see that thing? And when he rules over you, watch this. Give me the book of Ephesians now. This is the reason why that black Asian woman was saying, no, they just want to control. They don't want you to have the freedom. Listen, when you are under your father's rule, you don't have the freedom to do whatever you want. When you're under your husband's rule, you don't have the freedom to do whatever you want. They don't want any of them. They just want to do whatever the hell they want. That's why the land has fallen to water now because of this. Okay, give me Ephesians 5 verse 22. It says, your husband, he shall rule over you. You know what? Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 14. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 14 real quick. Then we're going to go to the book. We're going to go to the book of Ephesians. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, because it says, your desire shall be to your husband. So those women, their desires is not to their husband. Their desire is not to the black man. Their desire is to the white man. That's the point. Their desire is to the white man. Their desire is not to the black man. The problem is not the man. No, the problem is the black man they have a problem with. They don't have a problem with the white man. They don't have a problem with them. Read that. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 34. Watch this.
First book of Corinthians chapter 14 verse 34.
No, come on.
Let your women keep silence in the churches.
Read.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
Come on.
But they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law.
So these women are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. We just read that law in Genesis 3:16. Watch the next verse. Go ahead.
And if they will learn anything,
their desire to learn, if they have a desire to learn, where must they go? Read.
Let them ask their husbands at home.
You see that thing? Let them ask their husbands at home, or their fathers, that is what? That is over them, or the leadership that is over them. If they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. Because you hear what she said? She says, no, that means I have to depend on you for everything. If I need this, if I need that, listen, that's what the Bible is saying. If you don't like the Bible, drop dead. Read.
For it is a shame for women to speak in the church.
Right now, that's what they're doing. They have no shame, not right now. That's why they got the daughter of TDJ. She's a prophetess. She's got a ring on her finger and she be floating it. but she be teaching women that, no, you must be your own person. You must be your own person. You must do you. You must love yourself, dear. You must, all of that. Uplifting the woman, making the woman to be above the man. But she's got a ring, she got a ring on her finger. After she does that sermon, meaning after she does that, if she delivers that motivational speech, she goes back to her husband. That's the point. You see that? Ephesians now. Give me the book of Ephesians, chapter 5. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22. This is when you hear black women say, no, I know that's controlling and all of that. The reason why they are saying all of that, they don't want to do what we're about to read and what we've been reading so far. Read it. Ephesians 5, verse 22. Read that thing. Come on.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5. Sorry, I lost my bearings.
Ephesians 5:22. Come on.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verses 22.
Go ahead.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as the Lord.
No. You submit yourself unto your own husband as unto the Lord. Submit yourself to your husband. That's why in all these TV shows that you see, your operas and all, they don't tell the women to submit to their husband. They don't. They say, you must be independent, girl. You must. That's the garbage they tell one another. Read.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord.
Read.
For the husband is the head of the wife.
You see that thing? The husband is the head, the hedge. The husband is that hedge that is going to make sure that you don't get spoiled as a sister. You don't get spoiled as a woman. Your father's job is to make sure that you don't get spoiled as a daughter. We went over this at the beginning of the class. Go ahead.
Even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body.
Just like the husband is the savior of your body, Christ is the savior of the 12 tribes of Israel. Go ahead.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ.
Stop right there. As the church is subject unto Christ. The 12 tribes of Israel, we are subject unto Christ. Starting with the man. Meaning what? We are subject unto him. So that's why when a king has subject, we are the subject. You see what I'm saying? A king has subject. The people subject themselves to the king. They follow the rule of the king. Same goes with the father when it comes to their head, his daughters. Same goes to the husband when it comes to his wife. Read.
And he is the savior of the body.
Read verse 24. Come on.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 24. Therefore,
Read.
as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
You see that part right there? It says, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. You know what it means to say, do you know what it means everything? Meaning everything. All that consists. Everything you can think of, you must be subject to your husband 100%. That's what the Lord is saying right there. And this is what they hate. So when they say, I don't want a husband in my house, I like dating, I love having boyfriends, but I don't want a husband in my house, this is the reason right here. They won't tell you, but that black Asian demon, she said it out of her own mouth. Meaning what? She doesn't want to be controlled. That's what she was really saying. And that's why she's single. You see that? That's why she's single. That's the point. Now, I did mention, because she mentioned something, no, I don't need no man and all of that, because what she's saying is, I can survive without one. Okay, let's see. Give me the book of Genesis. Okay, watch. Let's see if that's true. Give me the book of Genesis give me Genesis chapter 2, verse 4. Genesis chapter 2, verse 4. Watch this. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 4. Read what you got.
The book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 4. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens.
Read, come on.
And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was no man to till the ground.
And there was no, that's the point I want. It says, and there was no man to till the ground. Watch this. There was no man to till the ground. Hold this. Give me the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 4. Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 4. It says, there was no man to till the ground. And here when it says there's no man to till the ground, yes, the Bible is written in a masculine form. But right here is talking about the man directly. This is not talking about meaning man or woman. This is talking about the man, male. And I'm going to prove what I'm saying. Proverbs 8, verse 4. Watch this.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call. And my voice is to the sons of men.
You see that thing? Unto you men, I call. So the most that God, he calls the man first. The man is the prize. Understand that. The man is the prize. The Lord calls the man first. Ezekiel 34, verse 21. No, Ezekiel 34, 31. Read what you got. Ezekiel 34, verse 31. Watch this. Come on.
Chapter 34, verses 31.
Read.
And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture. Amen.
You see that thing? The flock of my pasture are men. Amen. That's right. The flock of my pasture are men. Now let's go back to Genesis 2, verse 5.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 5.
Read.
And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground.
And there was not a man to till the ground. Because who does the Lord call first? The man. Men. The Lord calls the man first. Now, watch this. Jump down to verse 9. Read verse. You know what? Read verse 7.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7.
Go ahead.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils.
He did what?
And breathed into his nostrils.
Stop right there. He breathed into what? Into. Read the word after the into. Read them.
And breathed into his nostrils.
That's it right there. And breathed into his nostrils. Not her nostrils. No. His nostrils. The man. Go ahead.
The breath of life. And man became a living soul.
That's Adam right there. That's Adam. Adam was made first because we are the direct descendants of Adam. Next verse. Watch this.
And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden. And there he put the man whom he had formed.
You see that thing? And there he put the man whom he had formed. Adam was given a job. You see that thing? Adam was handling business. Adam was running the business of the Most High God. He was naming all the animals, all the plants, the oceans and all of. Guess what? That's what Adam was doing. Adam, listen, and at this point, Eve wasn't made. Eve was not created. So who built the infrastructure? Who did it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Don't be simple.
Adam, sir.
Hold on. Who built the infrastructure? What the hell is wrong with you, brother? Who
Adam,
built the
sir.
infrastructure?
Adam, sir.
Adam. And Adam is a what?
Adam is a man.
A black man.
Thank you. Yes, Adam is a man, and Adam built the infrastructure. And before Adam, who built the infrastructure? Christ built the infrastructure, and Christ is a man. Where did Christ get the blueprint from? From the Most High God, who is a man. Now, Can the woman survive without the infrastructure? Because when trouble comes, they phone 911. Guess who shows up? The man shows up. All these technological advances, the phones they have, the WhatsApp, who built them? The man did that. You see that thing? The infrastructure that exists, water, you understand, electricity, the industrial revolution, who built that? The man did that. So can the man survive without the woman? Yes, because Adam was doing it. I'm trying to show you that these things that these women are saying, they are not realistic. They don't make no sense because who built the infrastructure? We did that because we just read it. You see that thing? Because I'll prove it, just something simple as water. Give me the book of Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1 and verse... Give me Genesis chapter 1 verse 20.
The book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 20.
Go ahead.
And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life.
Read.
And fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven.
You see that thing? It says, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that has life. The Lord did this. Okay, the Lord did this. He's a man. Give me that in Numbers chapter 15. I believe that's what I want. Is that what I want? Is it Numbers, right? Wait, no, Exodus. I think it's Exodus. Yeah, give it to me. Come on. Exodus 15 and verse 3. Read it.
The book of Exodus chapter 15 verse 3.
Read.
The Lord is a man of war.
The
Lord is his name.
You see that thing? The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is a man of war. God is a man. He built the infrastructure. You see this? He built the infrastructure. So after he built the infrastructure, who was created after that? After Adam was there Adam was handling the business. Adam was running the empire of the Most High on earth. After that, Eve was created and brought to Adam. When Eve was created and brought to Adam, she had to be taught everything. And guess what? She found everything already running when she arrived. You see this? But she said, no, I don't need no man. You can't make this stuff up. Okay? You cannot. So the thing that these women be saying, I don't need no man, we can survive without, listen, that's just a lie. Is to intimidate the simp, is to put the simp in fear. I'm telling you straight. Because the simp will fall for that. The television, the social media, the smartphones they have, the clothes they got, all these textiles and all of these things. Who's the distribution, the logistics, security, the police department, the medical department, you understand? The medical industry, the pharmaceutical. Who's running this whole thing? Man is doing it, not the woman. The woman, they just using the infrastructure that was built by men. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, sir.
So do they need the men? Yes. Do we need them? No. No. Because Adam, he was running the empire of the Most High God on earth. Eve wasn't there. I don't see at what point where Adam was complaining, say, hey, there's no woman. He never. You not read about that. But these are the things that we're hearing, and a simple believe that stuff. Now, let me switch gears now, because these single independent women, these black single independent black women, not only are they single, but they are single mothers too. Watch this. Give me the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 44. Actually, before you get there, give me Micah 3. Give me Micah 7, verse 10. Because I did mention that these are the enemies of God, and I didn't prove what I said. Let's read it. Micah 7, verse 10. Let's read that.
The book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 10.
Read.
Then she that is mine enemy shall see
that
it.
Thing? But she that is my enemy, these singing independent black women, I don't need no man. I can rather hold myself out. I don't have to get married. Read.
Then she, that is mine enemy, shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me,
Read.
where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the myrrh of the streets.
As the mire of the sea. You see what the Lord is saying? It says these black women that hate God, they're inventors of evil things, and they like to have enablers to encourage them to continue this whorish lifestyle. The Lord says, guess what? He says she's going to be trodden down as the mire of the sea. When the destruction comes, guess what? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. He's going to keep it moving. You understand? Because she's the enemy of progress. Watch this. Give me Ezekiel now, 16 verse 44. Because I want to show you, a lot of the times, these single independent black women, they don't care about the kids. They only care about their lust that needs to be fulfilled. And they make it seem like it's a normal thing, it's a good thing to be a single parent with different baby days. They make it like it's a normal thing, it's a nice thing. You understand? Read it. Ezekiel 16, verse 44.
The book of Ezekiel.
Oh, you know what? No. You know what? Before we get there, give me Surah 23:23. Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, verse 23. Let's read that first.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 23, verse 23.
Go ahead.
For she had disobeyed the law of the Most High. And secondly, she had trespassed against her own husband.
You see that thing? The women that trespass against their own husband. How do they do it? Read.
And thirdly, she had played the whore in adultery.
That's how she did it. She played the whore in adultery. You understand? She trespassed against her own husband. She don't listen to him. She don't obey. She don't submit. In her mind, they are equal, or she's above him. Read.
She had played the whore in adultery and brought children by another man.
You see that thing? That baby mama's right there. She brought children by another man. She's married. Now she brings a bastard child by another man. You see that thing? Now, watch this. Ezekiel 16 verse 44. Because this, I don't need no man. I'm a single parent and I'm okay with it. That's what they say. I'm a single parent and I'm fine with them. Watch this. Ezekiel 16 verse 44.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 44. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee.
Go ahead.
As is the mother, so is her daughter.
As is the mother. This is the proverb that is used today against the black women. These single black women, these queens, they call themselves. Guess what? The proverb that is used against them is used against them when it comes to their children. It says, you just like your whorish mother. You just like your mother. You see that thing? It says, as is the mother, so is her daughter. Because what? Like mother, like daughter. She's going to do exactly what her mother is doing because she's watching how she moves. You see that thing? They don't think about it. These single black women that have what? That have children without fathers around and all of that. Guess what? They are teaching their daughters to do the same thing and their sons too. Next verse. Watch this.
That's my parents, sir.
Verse 45. Come on.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 45. Thou art thy mother's daughter, that longeth her husband and her children.
No. That what?
That loatheth her husband and her children.
That's it right there. Meaning she hates her husband and her children. So now it says, now the daughter is going to do the same thing that her mother was doing. What was her mother doing? She hated her husband and she hated her children. It says the daughter is going to do the same thing when she gets children. That's what you are seeing today. Go ahead.
And thou art the sister of thy sisters, which loatheth their husbands and their children.
You see that thing? Because guess what? Remember, they always have a what? Oh, let's have a group hug. You understand? And guess what? Those women that be having group hugs, they be enabling one another. That's what it's talking about here. It says what? It says, thou art the sister of thy sisters, which loatheth their husband and their children. That's why whenever they come together, the common denominator is that some have been married before, they've gotten children by those people that they were married to, and now they cannot get no man. Nobody wants to deal with them. Now they come together because they have common things. They hate men, they are bitter, they hate themselves, and they hate their children too. You see that thing? That is what you are seeing. That's what you saw at the table. Go ahead.
Your mother was an Hittite, and your father an Amorite.
You see what the Lord is doing? He's insulting us now. He says you are Hamites to me now. You are acting like this black, ashy Hamite. That's what he's insulting us. Now, let's see now. Hold on. 1 second. Let's watch some videos now. Okay, we want to watch this one first. Because we just read about the baby mamas. Okay.
It's a pretty disturbing epidemic.
It is beyond catastrophic. Almost 3/4 of black children.
It's at an alarming rate in the African American community.
It is a crisis.
It's devastating.
The 72% number.
72%.
72%.
72%.
72%.
More than 72% of children in the African American community are born out of wedlock. That means absent fathers.
I wish I'd had a father who was around and involved.
Now that's some heavy stuff right there. So don't just think when it says African American. Remember, the Israelites were over here as well. You think the condition is not the same? It's exactly the same. No, don't get it twisted.
In 1965, Daniel
Now this is 1955. Listen to the stats.
Patrick Moynihan in his report said that 29% of African American children being born into out of wedlock households was a travesty. So if 29% is a travesty in 1965, what is 72% in 2030?
So 1965 now is 20. This was for the 2013, 72%. So what do you think the number is now? It's way over 80%. You understand? And remember, the number of females versus men is more. The women, they outnumber us in terms of number, in terms of the numbers. You understand?
Sociologists, historians, lawyers, and every other professional under the sun, they're studying to try to find out why exactly is this statistic so high.
72% of children being born to in African American communities to single parents is a frightening number. Not because black women aren't capable, not because it's morally wrong, but because it puts an economic pressure.
A lot of the times the black women, they don't want to really tell it like it is. It's because these black women, they don't want no man. They don't want to get married. You see that thing? That's the point. They don't want to get married.
On the black community that we can ill afford.
I think it's very important that we understand the history and, in many ways, the evolution as to the single-parent home in the African-American community. It goes back to pre-slavery days.
In Africa, prior to the slave trade started, what you had is basically tight societies.
So don't mind if they are using Hamites as examples there when they say Africa. Okay, so don't mind.
Everybody was linked to the land and linked to a spiritual system. Spirituality affected everything you did.
Single parenthood as a notion was not really present pre-colonization and pre-slavery.
African men, broadly speaking, took care of their children in that in some societies they may have been responsible for rites of passage. So they taught the men how to be a man, and they took them out and they taught them how to hunt, and they were initiation ceremonies.
Yeah, definitely. These are Hamites. This is what the Lord is insulting us with. These Ashi people right here. You see them? Look at them. This is not Israel at all. Just look at them.
To the men being there.
Child was not necessarily property of their parents, it was a property of the family line. So there was no...
You hear what they're saying? Is that the child is the property of the family line. What does that mean? The child belongs to the father because the father is the one that repopulates the earth, not the woman, the man does. The person that repopulates the earth is not the woman, is the man, because the man carries the seed. You see this?
A concept of a child sort of being on its own without no connection to anything.
Okay, so now that's some heavy steps that we just saw. And the root cause of that is what? Lack of marriages in the black community, in the nation of Islam, quote unquote black community. Lack of marriage because they don't want to get married. You see this? And this independent feminist nonsense is one of the main reasons why and the LGBT community. You know, the alphabet, these alphabet organizations, yes. Unbelievable. Let's see. Here's another one. You see, when I saw this one, I was like, my God, man. Just watch this. Now, they are on the Oprah Winfrey network. Yeah. See, Oprah is promoting this feminist nonsense. Yeah. You see that thing? To quote unquote, I'm giving black women a voice. Just listen to the voices of these black women. This woman is going to glorify herself having left her marriage, a stable home with mother and father in the house. She is going to glorify her decision that she made. She says, no, it was good for her son. You can't make this stuff up. Just listen to what she says.
You know, as a political commentator, as you know, as a political commentator.
The first thing she's saying, man, you see what she's mentioning? What she does. Because that's more important than family. As a political commentator, because that's her priority. You see, the black women's priorities are completely off. They don't care about the children. That's what we read in Ezekiel 16:45. They don't care. They are ostriches. Listen to what she says.
As you know, as a political commentator, single moms get a bad rap. And they've been used as political punchbags, like we are just the dredge of the United States. I was married to a very wealthy man. I got a divorce, walked away from $1 million lifestyle in South Florida because that was the best thing to give to my son.
You see that thing? So divorce was the best thing that she could give to her son. You can make this stuff up. Listen. When person tells many of these black women, they are not going to make it. I'm telling you right now. Okay?
You know, as a political commentator, single moms get a bad rap. And they've been used as political punchbags, like we are just the dredge of the United States. I was married to a very wealthy man. I got a divorce, walked away from $1 million.
And listen to what she says. She says, I got a divorce, meaning she did it. She did it. She says, I was married to a very wealthy man. Okay. I lived $1 million lifestyle and all of that. I got a divorce. And after she said that, listen to what she don't care about the child. She cares about her freedom. Listen.
Lifestyle in South Florida because that was the best thing to give to my son.
So divorcing, destroying your family, that was the best thing that you could do that she did for her son. Give me the book of Isaiah 3 verse 12. No, you know what? Give me 2 Ezra 5 and 8. 2 Ezra chapter 5 and 8. I hope you sisters are seeing this. Okay. 2 Ezra 5 and 8. Read what you got.
Second book of Ezra chapter 5 verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places.
Because that's what we're seeing right now. Confusion of the black woman. Go ahead.
And the fire shall be oft set out again.
That fire took about the same fire that, give me that in Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19. Give me Isaiah 13, verse 19. When it says the fire shall be oft sent out again. What fire is this? Give me Isaiah 13, verse 19. Read that.
The book of Isaiah chapter 13, verses 19.
Hold on. The first time the fire was sent out, give me that in Genesis 19. Might be verse 24. Let me see. Genesis chapter 19, verse 24. Read that.
The book of Genesis chapter 19, verses 24.
Go ahead.
Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah stone and fire from the Lord out of heaven.
You see that thing? Brimstone and fire rained down on earth, on those 5 cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was the capital. Now, it says the fire shall be oft sent out again. Now, Isaiah 13, verse 19. Watch this.
The book of Isaiah chapter 13, verses 19.
Read.
And Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
You see that thing? That's when the fire will be off sent out again. This time, when the Lord is going to destroy America with fire. Okay, go back to 2nd Ezra now, 5 verse 8.
Second book of Ezra, chapter 5, verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places.
That's why now on the internet you see celebrities with snakes. I don't know if you've seen that trend. I'm seeing that trend now. In South Africa, I'm seeing a lot of trends with celebrities and snakes because the wild beasts are going to change their places, their nature. Go ahead.
And the menstruous woman shall bring forth monsters.
And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. These are menstruous women. That's what you are looking at here. Unclean women. They're going to bring forth monstrous kids. Isaiah 3 verse 12. Read what you got.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verses 12.
Go ahead.
As for my people, children are their oppressors.
You see that thing? Monstrous kids. You understand? And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. That's the children that will rule over the parents. Children will oppress their own parents. You understand? Read.
And women rule over them.
You see that thing right there? And women rule over them. Because that father, the father that she divorced, the husband that she divorced, she took the father she took the child away from his father. That's what she said. And she said that was the best thing she did for her son. Unbelievable. Now it's saying, and women rule over them because she's going to effeminize him. He's going to be feminine. Okay, read.
O my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths.
And do what?
And destroy the way of thy path.
And destroy the way of thy path. You see that thing? Because this woman is not going to raise this boy to be a man. No. She's going to raise him up to be a what? To be a girl. She's going to raise him up to be a what? To be a woman. That's why they become fag, or they become homo, or they become homophiles. That's what happens. Or they end up in jail and become, you remember Fleece Johnson? Now, I'm not going to Google Fleece Johnson now. Let me leave Fleece Johnson alone. Okay? Let's play on.
Was a better life, not the man. I got a divorce, walked away from $1 million lifestyle in South Florida because...
And she's saying it's like a good thing that she's saying. I walked away from a $1 million lifestyle.
That was the best thing to give to my son, was a better life, not with him. It just sometimes bothers me how...
Now listen to this.
My son was in South Florida because that was the best thing to give to my son, was a better life, not with him. it just sometimes bothers me how sometimes single moms just catch such a bad rap.
Yes, because of the dumb decisions you make. I mean, she made the dumbest decision. Now she's coming to, you see all these women here, these are enablers. Like we read in Romans 1, these are the enablers now.
Yeah. Like, we are just out here just willy-nilly having babies with anybody just because we don't have anything else better to do. I know a lot of people that are married that are single moms. Because people...
You see, they would clap to that. Because you know what the problem is? Because let me tell you, brothers and sisters, when you are married to a man that is making so much money, you know what he does? He deals with global things. Let me put it like that. He deals with, he is an executive. He makes executive decisions. You understand? He deals with high level stuff. You as the woman, you deal with low level stuff. That's how it works. You see that thing? The CEO will paint the big picture. Your job is to execute the instructions to make sure that you fit into this big picture that the CEO has painted. She didn't want that. You see that thing? Because we are high value men. I understand you, brothers. You are the goal. Okay? You are the goal. A high value man is a man that keeps God's commandments. He's got a job. He takes care of himself. He takes care of his family. He takes care of his nation. That's a high value man. And a high value man requires his standards. And there's certain things, there's things that he wants, and he wants the way that he wants them in a specific way. Women, this type of women, they don't want that. Because it means she has to be responsible, you understand, and be a high value woman. Which means what? Take care of the house, teach the kids, make sure everything is in order. All of that, take care of this man that is doing all of these things. She don't want that. That's why she left. You see this? So don't fall for the BS. Okay? Do not fall for the BS. You see that? These are all enablers. Look at their fingers. They are not married. That's why they are clapping. None of them are married. You see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, I mean, I'm very serious. I have a lot of friends who are married to very wealthy men, and they're married to the lifestyle.
Hold on. He says she knows a lot of women that are married. You understand? They are married to wealthy men, and they are married to the lifestyle. Wait a minute. Because the lifestyle that this man is giving you is for you to do what? What must you do in return? You must what? You must be in order. You must make sure that you make him look good. You must take care of the children. You see, there's a lot of work involved in this. She don't want that. So she rather destroy that boy's life because she doesn't want to be a submissive wife. That's the problem.
And they think that the baby is going to save the marriage. Babies don't save marriages. They just prolong bad marriages. Everyone in this room wanted to grow up and be a mother. Some of you did. No one wants to grow up and be a single mom.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Is anybody getting this? In the beginning of the conversation, what did she say in the beginning? She said, I was married to a very wealthy man. I was living $1 million lifestyle and all of that. I decided to divorce this man. Then she comes back later. She says, nobody wakes up and says, I want to be a single mom. But she did it. Did she not do that?
Yes, sir.
She just did that. Now she's saying, nobody wakes up and says, I want to be a single mom. But she made the decision to be a single mom. Unbelievable.
You're not on your knees as a little girl saying, I want to grow up and be a single mom. No.
Excuse me, my name is Lisa.
Now, these are the classics now. You see the one that's coming up? Classic.
I have, I think, a unique experience. I have 3 sets of children. They range from 35 to...
3 sets of children. So what is she telling you? She's telling you she's got 3 kids from 3 different men.
I have, I think, a unique experience. I have 3 sets of children. They range from 35 to 11. My children all have separate fathers. I have been.
So, Sirach 23:23. Read that thing again, because I know some of you forgot. Read it. Sirach 23, verse 23. She says she's got 3 sets of children. She's a single mom. She's a baby mama. She's contributing to that 72% we just saw. Sirach 23, verse 23. Watch this.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 23, verse 23.
Read.
So first, she had disobeyed the law of the Most High. And secondly, she had trespassed against her own husband.
Because she does not want to submit. That's the problem. Read on.
And thirdly, she had played the whore in adultery and brought children by another man.
That's the state that she's in. She's brought children by another man. Now she's got 3 different baby fathers. Next verse. Go ahead.
And she shall be brought out into the congregation. An inquisition shall be made of her children.
You see what he's saying? Because that's how it was done back then. Is that she shall be brought out in front of the congregation, and inquisition shall be made of her children. Meaning, people must know the children. Because right now, you see, inquisition is made. Esau is making a diligent inquisition. Because Esau goes out there to search out sin and to see the things that caused us to sin back then. Esau is bringing them all back. He investigated all the captivities that was past. He brought all the sins here under America, and he's propagating them through the whole earth. Now this is the one. Now she's brought through. Oh, now she's what? Esau is parading her in front of the whole earth now. Now she's saying these things. The world is watching. Ray, watch this.
Her children shall not take root.
See, they don't think about the children. It says the children shall not take root. She don't think about that. She don't think about that thing. It says her children shall not take root. You see that? Because in order for the children to take root, what needs to happen? That means the children must grow up in a stable home, and when they take root, that means the male will continue what? They will continue the lineage and all of that. The family structure is going to be built. Read on.
And her branches shall bring forth no fruit.
You see that thing? And her branches shall bring forth no fruit. So what does she have to say about this stuff? I'm going to show you that her lifestyle has nothing to do with the children. She don't care about the child. Just like the previous one that she spoke, she says, getting a divorce was the best thing for her son. Guess what? Her children is not going to take root because she didn't care about the children. She doesn't care. She didn't care about that child. Neither did that this one, because she didn't learn. For the first, let's say the first one, okay, she did it out of whatever, she was young and all of that. Fine. The next one, she don't learn. The third one, she don't learn. The fourth one, because she's got 4. Watch this. Keep going. Read verse 26.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 23, verse 26. She shall leave a memory to be cursed, and a reproach shall not be blotted out.
Now she's leaving it says her memory shall be cursed. So now you think, but because of what's happening in the world, this is acceptable now. This is normal. There's nothing wrong with this. You see that? There's nothing wrong with this, according to the standard of the world. Let's keep playing.
Very fortunate. My children all have separate fathers. I have been very fortunate that with all 4 of the children and the 3 fathers, they have partnered with me every step of the way.
So having 3 different baby daddies, right? She says that's a fortune to her. This is fortunate. I want you to see, give me that in Isaiah chapter 1. Isaiah 1 verse 5. I want to show you something. It says she's very fortunate. She's got 3 different baby daddies. So that's a fortune. Because that's what the world teaches now. Isaiah 1 verse 5. Read what you got.
The book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 5. Why should he be stricken anymore?
Read.
He will revolt more and more.
Because this is a revolt. This is an example of rebellion. Go ahead.
The whole head is sick.
That's the problem right there. The whole head is sick. Why? Because there's no hedge. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. Now the whole head is sick now. Go ahead.
and the whole heart faint.
That's what you are looking at right now. You understand? That's what you are seeing right here.
A lot of people often have said that being divorced has actually made parenting more difficult.
You see, now that's the sense now. Is a lot of people say getting a divorce makes parenting difficult. Let's see what she says.
Has that been your experience?
It's made parenting better for me.
You see that thing? Man, I want to go back to the streets. Woo! Man, I want to go back to the streets. My fingers are itching. Did you hear what she said? I know some of you missed it. Let's play it again.
More difficult? Has that been your experience?
It's made parenting better for me.
It says it has made parenting better for her. So this is all about her. You see that? It's got nothing to do with the children. No, it's all about her. It says it made parenting better for me. And she's laughing about it because she wants the group heart, the enabler. Okay?
Wait. Say that again so that people hear.
It's made it better for me. I mean,
being divorced.
Because I still get to explore things that are important to me.
You see that thing? So this whole thing has nothing to do with the family structure. These women, they don't care about the family. They don't care about the nation. They only care about me. They only care about themselves. That's the point. He says the divorce has given a chance to what? To do things that are important for her. Meaning what? Give me Sirach 7:26. She didn't care about that. Sirach 7:26. Because this is the mindset that these women are supposed to have. That's why the world loves them, because they do the things that the world says they must do. Sirach 7:26. That's not what the Most High God says. Really.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26. Hast thou a wife after thy mind?
You see that thing? Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Meaning your wife's mind must be after your mind, not the other way around. Your wife's mind must be after your mind. And your mind is after what? After God's mind. Read.
Forsake her not.
He says, don't forsake that type of woman whose mind is after your mind. Read.
But give not thyself over to a light woman.
He says, but don't give yourself over a stupid woman. These are stupid women right here. Yes, they are dumb women. How can you say getting a divorce was the best thing that has ever happened to my son? But after that you say, no, but it's about me. It made it better for me. So she didn't care because her lust is the reason why she made all these decisions. Lust.
I now have 50% of my time free.
You see that thing? Freedom. Because that marriage was a slave contract. That's the mindset of the black woman. No, the black queen. It says 50% of the time, it says she got 50% of the time back. So what is that telling you? 1 Corinthians 11 verse 8. This is the problem. Okay? That is why I'm going over this class. I want to show you what's out there and how these women think. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 8. Watch this.
First book of Corinthians, chapter 11 verse 8.
No, read verse 7. Start at verse 7.
First book of Corinthians, chapter 11 verse 7. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head.
Read.
For as much as he is the image and glory of God.
Come on.
But the woman is the glory of the man.
But the woman is the glory of the man. The woman is the glory of the man. Watch this. Next verse. Go ahead.
For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man.
You see that thing? The man is not of the woman. That's why Adam was made first. You see that thing? But the woman of the man, meaning the woman was created to serve the man. That's why this woman, the previous one with the long weave, she said she decided to give up the lifestyle, a lavish lifestyle, because guess what? Her career was more important to her. Because guess what? She didn't want to serve a man like that. Because those type of men, they have high demand in terms of what? Because men like that, they want to leave a legacy. You see that thing? Give me Proverbs 13. Give me Proverbs chapter 13. Okay? Give me Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 23.
The book of
No,
Proverbs.
verse 22. Verse 22. Verse 22. I'm sorry, verse 22.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children.
You see that thing? A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children. Meaning, a good man thing is all about the second and the third generation that comes after him. That's how a good man thinks. That's how a man of God thinks. That's how a leader thinks. The second, third, and fourth generation. That's how you must think. That's how all human must think. But this woman, she don't think that. So men like that, they think what? Generational wealth. It's about because they want to leave a legacy behind. No, she didn't want to do that. Because it's about her. She's a political reporter. That's what's important to her. But she's hiding behind her son. He says, it was the best decision for my son. This one is saying, no, it gave me 50% back, 50% of my time back. So where did this 50% go? Watch this. Let's keep playing. Let's keep playing.
To focus on things that are important to me. If I was a full-time mom.
Hold on. You see that? If I was a full-time mom, because before that she was one. Because a full-time mother, you know what she does? Give me Titus. Give me Titus 2. You see these women? No, they listen. They be saying, no, I don't want a good man. No, but when they find a good man who's got standards and how things need to be done, they run away from that type of man because they want to be free. Because that's what she's talking about. She wants to be free. Just like the previous one, she wants to be free. Like that, the one on the reel, that black ashy demon, she wants to be free too because she doesn't want to be controlled. Because that's how they look at it. They think they are now a slave. Give me Titus 2 and verse 3. Watch this.
The book of Titus chapter 2 verse 3. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
Go ahead.
Not false accusers.
Not gossipers, read.
Not given to much wine.
Not given too much wine. They must not be drunk like we are seeing today. Read.
Teachers of good things.
They must be teachers of good things. She doesn't want to be a full-time mother because being a mother is a full-time job. Don't you get it? Read.
That they may teach the young woman to be sober.
So their job is to teach the young women to be sober. They teach by their example, like we read in Judith 8 verse 24. Read.
To love their husbands.
Stop right there. How is she going to teach these young women to love their husbands if they left their husband and they are proud of it at the expense of the children? You see that part right there? To love their husband. How are they going to be able to do that? How is she going to do that? Read.
To love their children.
To love their children. Because these black women, they don't love their children. That's why she says, being a single parent, it makes things better for me. It's got nothing to do with the kids. You see that? But it's got everything to do with the freedom that they want. Because they don't want to be a mother. You see that thing? They don't want to be a wife. Go ahead.
To love their children.
Come on.
To be discreet.
To be discreet. They must have discretion. Go ahead.
Chaste.
They must be disciplined. Go ahead.
Keepers at home.
Keepers at home. They don't want to be keepers at home. They don't want to take care of the house. Read on. It doesn't. Listen. Let's say they have a job. It doesn't mean that when you come home, you're gonna be saying your husband is home early. Your husband's supposed to cook because he came earlier than you. You lost your damn mind. I'm telling you straight. When you come home, you're supposed to do what you're supposed to according to the system. Just because you have a job doesn't mean you don't take care of the house. It doesn't mean you don't cook. It doesn't mean you don't deal with the children. It don't mean that. Okay? But these women, that's how they think. If the husband comes home before they do, because you see they show it in the movies. If the husband comes home before they do, you know what they say? But you should have cooked. I'm tired. You understand? I was at work. I'm tired. I can't cook. That's what they think. That's what they say. That's what they do. Go ahead. Come on.
Good. Obedient to their own husbands.
Because they didn't want to do. That's why that one, she left $1 million lifestyle because she did not want to be obedient to her husband. She did not want to love her children. Go ahead.
That the word of God be not blasphemed.
So all of these women, they be saying, no, I'm a Christian woman. They don't love the Lord. They blaspheming the word of the Most High. Let's keep playing.
I couldn't do that. I would be on a soccer field every weekend. I would be at basketball lessons and tutoring sessions. But
you see that thing? This is what a mother's supposed to do to what? To make sure that she teaches the children. She's saying she got her time back to be what? To be free. Because if she was not, she would be a soccer game, basketball, tutoring session, meaning what? What a mother's supposed to do. Hello? But she don't want to do that. She doesn't want to do that. That's the point. Because children is what? You hear these women, that's why a lot of the times you see the women here in Joburg, they be having popping babies left, right, and center, but you never see their kids. You know where the kids are? They are at home with the grandmother. Where they continue here in Joburg to be hoshering, popping more babies to send them down there to the grandmother. We see it all the time. Because guess what the children are doing? The children are disturbing their whorish lifestyle. Because that's what this woman is saying. Look at how she's dressed up, even.
Because we split that partnership 50-50, I have a lot more time to focus on things that are important to me.
You see that thing? This whole thing is about self. It says, I've got a lot more time now to focus on things that are important to me. So the things that are important to her have nothing, the children is not part of them. Being married is not part of them. Building a family, building a nation is not part of them. She don't care. While the community is in shambles, she don't give a damn. That's today's black woman. You see that? Enablers. You will always have enablers when you do evil, but when you do good, you will have very few you will have very few followers. Because people love evil more than good. That's our people right there. You see this? That's our people. That's it on there. Okay. Enablers. I'm showing you the mind state of the black queens. You understand? Watch this. Some of you might get married to this because you are in a rush. You understand? You are burning. Watch this. Give me Sirach 7. No. Ecclesiastes. Excuse me. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 26. Watch this. Right after Proverbs. Sirach 7 verse 2. Ecclesiastes. I'm sorry. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 26. Why do I keep saying Ecclesiastes? Read that. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 26.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 26.
Read.
I find no more bitter than death the woman.
No, read that right. Come on.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 26.
Go ahead.
I find more bitter than death the woman.
Meaning this woman is bitter than death. Meaning what? She's worse than death. Go ahead.
Whose heart is snares and nets.
This type of woman, it says her heart is snares and net. Meaning she's going to trap you up. Go ahead.
And her hands is bands.
Her hands is bands. She will destroy you. Go ahead.
Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her.
He says, whoso pleaseth God will escape from this type of woman right here. Because these are the type of women we've been watching on these videos. Go ahead.
But the sinner shall be taken by her.
But the sinner, the simp, will be taken by that type of woman. Now, watch this. Yes, here's another one. I forgot this video. Let me play this one now. Oh, wait. Now that we play that, let's go back to the show, The Real. Okay.
Magazine recently interviewed a woman, Tanya, who found out she was pregnant right after breaking up with her boyfriend. Tanya said the hardest thing about her going through her pregnancy alone was navigating the self-imposed shame of being a Black single mother.
You see, a Black single mother. We were just watching the video of 72%. That was 2013. Now it's more than that now. My point is the subject is about a Black woman who's pregnant and she's not married. They say the thing that they want to extract out of this story is that she's having self-imposed shame that she's pregnant and she's not married. Yes, that is a shame. But the world makes it okay. Listen to what these demons are saying.
She even started wearing a fake wedding ring so that people would see her as a married Black pregnant woman, and says she noticed an immediate difference in how people treated her.
Wow.
So ladies, do you agree with Tanya that it's hard out there for single mothers in these streets?
Oh, I 100% agree that it is hard.
You know this woman, she makes me sick. But let's just listen to what she has to say. But listen to what she said.
Yes. But there was a key word in there, which was, she said, self-imposed.
You see that thing right there? This woman is the devil. I'm telling you, this woman right here, she is the devil. Okay?
Yeah. And I think sometimes we beat ourselves up so badly on decisions, woulda, shoulda, couldas, and you could do that for the rest of your life. You have to take control of how you think about yourself. And you have to own your truth.
You see that thing? It says own your truth. Wait a minute. It is a shame for a woman to fall pregnant. Give me that in Surah 42, verse 10 now. It is a shame for a woman to fall pregnant and she's not married. She's saying, no, that's not a shame. That's okay. You must own your truth. That's what they listen. You see these women? These are the enemies of God right here. This is the table of life. This table right here, this is the table of life. Watch this. Surah 42, verse 10.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 42, verse 10.
Go ahead.
In her virginity.
In her virginity. Now, in her virginity, she's under her father's roof now. Watch this. Go ahead.
In her virginity, lest she should be defiled.
Lest she should be what?
Lest she should be defiled.
Now she's defiled. In order for her to be defiled, what needs to happen? She needs to have sex out of wedlock. You understand? Without being married. That's why it says defiled there. Go ahead.
And gotten a child in her father's house.
You see that thing? That's the subject. That's what they are talking about right here. She's gotten with child in her father's house. Meaning what? She has brought shame in her father's house. That's what's going on here. Go ahead.
And having an husband. That she should misbehave herself. And when she is married, that she should be barren.
You see what it's saying? It says she gotten with child in her father's house and having a husband. Now she gets married, right? Lest she should misbehave herself. Because if she was able to misbehave under her father's house, what makes you think she's going to behave herself correctly under the husband's house? Impossible. That's not going to happen. It says, and when she's married, lest she should be barren. Because what was she doing? She was being defiled under her father's house, playing the whore under her father's house, having sex, falling pregnant. Guess what they do today? They have abortion. You see this? Now this ashy demon says she must own her truth. What truth is that? No, this is a shame. Okay? This is a shame. Well, I'll give an example. Give me Matthew. Give me Matthew chapter 1. Matthew chapter 1. Watch this. Matthew chapter 1. Because when that happened, this is how Israel dealt with it. Matthew chapter 1, verse 20.
The book of Matthew chapter 1, verse 20.
Hold on.
But while
you know what?
Thought,
oh, wait. Read verse 18. Start verse 18.
The book of Matthew chapter 1, verse 18. Now the birth of Jesus Christ was on this wise.
Go ahead.
When as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Ghost.
Meaning before they had the marriage ceremony, before they went into the marriage chamber, you understand, she was already pregnant because Joseph had slept with Mary at this point. Watch the next verse. Go ahead.
Then Joseph, her husband,
her husband, because she was a spouse to him. You see that thing? But keep going. Watch this.
Being a just man.
He was a just man, lawful and right. Read.
And not willing to make her a public example.
You see that thing?
Was
Joseph,
minded.
Oh, wait. It says Joseph and not willing to make her a public example. What does that mean? Joseph was not willing to make Mary a public example. Go ahead.
Was minded to her to put her away privily.
Meaning Joseph wanted to get rid of this woman. Joseph wanted to, this is what he thought in his mind. He didn't do this, but this is the thing that he was thinking about. He's saying, not willing to make her a public example. What does that mean, make her a public example? Remember, here you are in the house of David, you understand? You are promised to this woman, and before the proper processes can be followed according to how marriage is conducted in Israel, she was already pregnant. That's a shame. You see that thing? That's why he says he was not willing to make a public example. He was minded to put away to get rid of it. Let's deal with that public example. Give me Deuteronomy 22. What it means to say not willing to make a public example. Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse. Read verse 13. We're going to read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verses 13.
Go ahead.
If a man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her.
And hate her. You know, you sleep with a woman, you go in unto her and you hate her. You start to say evil things against this woman. Go ahead.
And give occasions of speech against her.
Verbal abuse, read.
And bring up an evil name upon her and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid.
Meaning when she was not a virgin, when we went into the marriage chamber, she was not a virgin. That's the thing. That's the subject here. Go ahead.
Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the shackles of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city.
No, not the shackles, the token. Come on, read it right. Read verse 15 again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 15. But shall the father of the damsel and her mother.
Wait. What are you reading? Then shall the father of the damsel, okay, read this correct. Don't be rushing. You are reading like you are writing something. Read verse 15 again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 15.
Read.
Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the token of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate.
Meaning the sheet, because her hymen would be broken when they go into the marriage chamber. You understand? Read on.
And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her.
Read.
And lo, he had given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid.
Meaning she was not a virgin. Read.
And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city.
So the parents would bring the cloth because the hymen would be broken and the blood stain would be on the sheet as evidence that yes, she was a maid. Go ahead.
And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him.
Meaning they gave him the beat down. Okay, go ahead.
And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver.
Read.
And give them unto the father of the damsel.
Read.
Because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel.
Read.
And she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days.
Because what's going on here is called the shotgun wedding. You was forced. Listen, you're going to take this woman because you found another name and you want to bring an ill name upon the virgin of Israel. guess what? He was chastised, and they made sure that he married this woman. You understand? But now, let's say the tokens of virginity was not found in the case of what we read in Matthew chapter 1 now. Okay, keep going. Read verse 20 now. Watch this.
But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel.
If the tokens of virginity were not found for the damsel, meaning what? I went unto this woman and I found her not a maid. The tokens of virginity are not found. Meaning what? Because she had sex before. Go ahead.
Then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die.
Read.
Because she hath wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you.
You see that thing? So now, if the virgin is the tokens of virginity were not found, this is what they would do to the damsel, because she played the whore in her father's house. That's what Joseph was thinking in his mind now, because he knew the law. Not willing to make a public example. This is the public example. If Joseph did not acknowledge that, listen, this is my wife and all of that, she was going to be stoned. That's the point. You see this? Because it was a shame. That's why it says, not willing to make a public example. She was what? She wanted to put her away privily. Meaning what? To get rid of the woman. You see that? Now, let's play the video. Now, listen to what this demon is saying now.
Of how you think about yourself. And you have to own your truth. You have to own what's going on in your life, own what went right, what went wrong, and say, look, this is what it is. There's a child that's about to come into this world. Own it. Walk around with confidence. Hold your head up high and move forward. Don't worry about what this one say. Because let me tell you, I believe that people treat you the way you allow them to treat you. If you walk in that room without a band and you're like, yep, I'm having a baby, and what?
You see that? Man, this woman makes me sick. This woman right here, this woman is the devil. So, let's see how many people watch this video. 369,000. So, which means the young girls that are having sex now outside of marriage, they're gonna be watching this and say, yeah, no, I'm gonna own my truth now. Excuse me, I'm gonna own my truth. I don't care what nobody says, which means she's not going to learn anything from this thing. That's why she's pushing out. That means she's not gonna learn anything from this. She's gonna do it again and own it, and own her truth, and and pop another baby and own her truth. You see this? This is what our sisters, our young girls, this is the things that they are seeing on their smartphones, their tablets, on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. These are the stuff they are watching on YouTube. And they do exactly as they do the things that they are hearing. And she's saying all this, but she's got a ring on her finger. Don't forget that. She's married, by the way. And this is what she's saying. So she's what? She's giving our young girls license to continue to do what? To commit adultery and fornication and what? And be single parents. You understand? Teenage pregnancy. She's pushing these messages out. These are the people that our daughters are listening to. You understand? That's why the prophets are back to shut down all this wickedness that we're seeing out here. You understand? That's why we're not going to rest until this place burns to the ground. Understand that? This word is going to go out until America burns to the ground when the Lord returns and destroys this place. Yep. That says the Lord as it is written in the Bible. You can read about that in Revelation 17. Okay? You can read about that in Obadiah. Own your truth. The hell is this? Okay, one more video. I'm going to share one more video now. This is the final one. This is the last video that I'm going to share. This one right here. This one right here. Some women are just evil. Okay? Give me Ecclesiastes 7 verse 26 again. Before I play this video, Ecclesiastes 7:26. Let's read it. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Ecclesiastes 7 verse 26. Come on.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verses 26.
Go ahead.
And I find more bitter than death the woman.
Go ahead.
Whose heart is snares and net, and her hands as bands.
That's the woman we're about to watch. The woman we're about to see right now, she fits the scripture perfectly like a glove. Go ahead.
Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her.
Whoso pleases the Lord will escape from this woman. Read.
But the sinner shall be taken by her.
Now watch. This woman framed her husband of raping her 3 daughters. You see, she framed her husband for raping his 3 daughters. You understand? 20 plus years in prison because of this woman right here. Listen now. You know what? Before we get there, give me Sirach chapter 25. Ecclesiasticus. How can I forget that? Ecclesiasticus chapter 25. Okay. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and verse 24. Sirach 25 verse 24. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 verse 24.
Read.
Of the woman came the beginning of sin. And through her we all die.
You see what the Bible is saying? Is that of the woman came the beginning of sin. It's taking you back to Genesis. And through her, the woman, we all die. Watch this. Give me the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 verse 11. No, 25 and verse 19. Sirach 25 verse 19. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 verse 19.
Read.
All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman.
You see what the Bible is saying? Is that all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. It says you cannot the wickedness of a woman cannot be compared with anything on this earth. Go ahead.
Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her.
That's the same thing we read in Sirach, in Ecclesiastes. Now let's play the video.
Today we're going to clean up the infection. We're going to tell the truth. Mr. Monzel, in your lie detector test, you were asked, did you have any sexual contact with any of your 3 daughters? You said no. And the lie detector said there was no deception.
Yes, thank God.
How does that feel for you? And that your daughters know it?
Well, I felt they always did know it.
You felt they always did know it? And didn't speak it because?
They didn't know no better. They was told no different.
Now, this is faking himself right here. Watch what, just listen to what this black Asian demon says. Just listen.
Miss Yvonne took a lie detector test and said, did you make up or exaggerate any stories with the intention to harm Monzel? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive. Then he asked you, did you say something to the effect of, I'm going to make sure you're never happy again? She responded,
this woman is bitter. You understand? She did all this to make sure that this man is never happy.
Did no, and the answer was deceptive. So Miss Yvonne has acknowledged that her story about you touching your children in a sexual way was not true. So, Miss Yvonne, is there anything that you wanted to say to Mr. Monzel?
Why didn't you fight for him harder?
Oh, hell no. What?
Even was not true.
Listen to what she said.
So, Miss Yvonne, is there anything that you wanted to say to Mr. Monzel?
Why didn't you fight for him harder?
Hell to them. No. You see what this woman, she said, why didn't you fight for them hard? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, look at this man. Just look at his hair. Okay? After this woman speaks. Just look at his hair.
If you knew you
Excuse
didn't
me.
do it.
And what is it that he could have said that would have made you not believe the lie you were telling? Miss Yvonne, you told the lie.
That's right. You told the lie.
It was a lie.
You lying black ashy demon you.
And you told it. And you gotta own it.
I'm sorry. I need you to say that you did not rape your girls. I need to hear it come out your mouth the way I've always heard it, Ma.
I apologize for accusing you of raping them. Please forgive me.
You don't have to forgive her.
You see, he's shaking. Because, just listen, he just wants to put hands on it. You see that? She is shaking. He's mad as hell. Okay? Because this woman, she does not mean the apology she said, she don't mean nothing she's saying. The daughters have to say, listen, you better speak now. Okay? This woman is the devil.
To hear it come out your mouth the way I've always heard it, Ma.
I apologize for accusing you of raping them. Please forgive me.
You don't have to forgive her.
Man.
You don't have to.
I cannot accept your apology because it's not sincere. Deep down, I know that you didn't believe.
Look at whose woman is countenance. Look at the woman's countenance. This woman is the devil.
This woman is evil.
This woman is the devil. This woman.
Oh my God. Deep down, I know that you didn't believe that. You knew I had no sexual desires for my children. For 25 years, this thing has...
25 years. Could you imagine that? 25 years, this woman has kept this lie. Read that verse again, Surah 25, verse 19.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 19.
Go ahead.
All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman.
You see what the Bible says? Is that all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. We're seeing a classic example right here. Go ahead.
Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her.
Broken me.
I want you to look at the countenance of this woman when this man speaks. Just look at her.
Broken me.
You see that? This is not a woman she's not sorry for nothing. In fact, she's forced to apologize to this man. Because the first thing she says, why didn't you fight harder? For 25 years in prison, how do I do that?
You don't know. It has affected my life in ways I can't even count. The things that you did.
You see, these type of women, they don't care about the children. I mean, look how broken these kids are. You see this thing? Look how broken these kids are. Just look at them.
The things that you did.
Look at this child. Look at the sister. You see how broken the sister is? She don't give a damn about them. And I'm showing you the trend of all these women, how they move.
This is not no game. This is these children's lives. And it's just a demon. in you that you
listen to what the brother said. Listen to what he said.
Lies. And it's just a demon in you.
He says, if you have a demon on you. What is this man saying? You got the devil on you. That's what he's saying, correct? Because she does have the devil on her.
That you need to deal with.
Woo! Man, this is some heavy stuff. Okay? This is some heavy stuff, yo. This is some heavy stuff. Okay? You know what? Man. Woo! This woman right here, oh my God, man. That woman, read the Sirach 25, verse 8, 19, once again.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 19.
Go ahead.
All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her.
You see that thing? All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Watch this. Sirach 37, verse 17. Read that. Sirach 37, verse 17.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 37, verse 17.
Read.
The countenance is a sign of a changing of the heart.
You see, it says the countenance is a sign of the changing of the heart. Because this woman, she was forced to apologize to this man. Because according to her, she don't see nothing wrong that she done. Watch this. Sirach 25, verse 17. You know what? Start at verse 16. You know what? Start at verse 13. I want to show you how deep this goes. Sirach 25, verse 13. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 13. Give me any plague, but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness, but the wickedness of a woman.
Now that's a heavy statement right there. It says, give me any plague, meaning whatever disease, Father, you can give me. Listen, if you want to judge me, you can give me whatever plague you can come up with. But guess what? It says, don't give me the wicked, but don't give me the wickedness of a woman. That's a heavy statement to make. You understand? That's some heavy stuff. Read verse 16.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 16. I had rather dwell with the lion and a dragon than to dwell with the wicked woman.
Than to do what?
Than to dwell, than to keep house.
Come on, I need you to read correctly. Read verse 16 again. You are messing me up, bro. Read verse 16 again.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 16. I'd rather dwell with the lion and a dragon than to keep house with the wicked woman.
You see what the Bible is saying? It says, I would rather dwell with a lion. So stop right there. Just picture a lion. Just picture a lion, the king of the jungle, right? And a dragon. Now imagine a dragon. Now you have this big animal that will devour you. Now you have a dragon on your side that spits fire out of his mouth. These two creatures, it says, I would rather sleep in the house with those two things than to keep house with the wicked woman. Go ahead. Verse 17.
The wickedness of a woman changes the face.
That's what you saw with that woman on that video. The wickedness of a woman changes her face. When that man was speaking, guess what? She was not even moved. She was getting more angry. You see that thing? Go ahead.
And darkeneth the countenance like a sackcloth.
You see that? And darkeneth the countenance like sackcloth. Her face looked like sackcloth. She did not want to apologize for the evil that she's done. She still don't want to acknowledge it. You understand? That's why now when you read the scripture, you just think of that video. You see what the Lord is, what the scripture means. Okay? I'm going to end the class right here. Okay? Let's break. Okay? 1 Corinthians 11, verse 23. I'm going to end the class right there.
First book of Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 23.
Read.
For I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Jesus, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore, Whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of the cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep.
In the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.